Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, world. This is the Rastafari International Ambassador, JahBunny, better known as the Badass. And this is the Sidewalk University, and I'm the lecturer in charge of this university. This university is centered at various penitentiary globally. Now, first of all, I would like you to pay close attention to my top, my Woody. On my top, right here, is Martin Luther King. Right here is Angela Davis. Right here is Malcolm X. Right here is Joan Chesimer. Just want you to know how Badass stand. Badass stand black from the day he was born. Black liberation baby. Now today, I'm gonna make a generational link. I'm gonna call up on my good professor, Dr. Jason, to present the connection after laying the foundation. Now let me let this clear. A lot of people like to hear when I speak of my personal chronic. Yeah, people like hear about the badass thinker, badass, well adventurous. A badass still attack, you know. But me no want to take this now like a just a slight adventure and then the real issue. Because how me speak, it's clear that some people can't even fathom the depth of my reasoning. But me a mash enough can. So now, today's program is gonna call Maria Hector versus Adida Palmer. So the program is Fedi Generation versus Cartel Generation. I'm not gonna lay it out now. It's like Jamaica and Haiti. Watch your ride. Now, me tell you say me end up at NCB at 15 and I me end up a run the whole prison practically. Go ask Akoranda, go ask Oloslow, go ask Kuta, go ask Jubi Pai. And me run the compound. Ask the man them all contraband coming out of prison through my links. Now, what I want to point out to you now is that at the time, Fedi Maria Hector was who running NCB from Gibraltar. at that time said from Gibraltar, him a run over NCB because him have the people them, you know, the youths them, because he was our hero. The connection what I want to make here now is my generation up until today is who made the connection with the black struggle universally, but namely in the US of A. I used to be the mail runner for Maria Hector. All of his mail is me smuggle them out of the prison. If you don't want to hear, I may have a link with the lady that cook in the canteen over the compound. At the time, over the compound is where staff have them meal daily. So I was also smuggling out other contraband because the canteen over there was staffed by civilians. And these civilians were also pocketing certain things. So certain things smuggled out of the prison, like the food, the meat, the different things, to run the canteen outside here, because the canteen supposed to be buying their ground provision from the market. But the links was, we smuggle out this, come out there, and the staff out there do this for us. One and wash the other. But now I tell the business now, 50 odd years ago me I talk about now. So me I go on it. Because we now wonder how the underground network did a network. Now, the point I want to make is that all of the mail was coming through me. Right? That's why I'm saying certain things them can't say. Right. Now, the links that I want to make here now is that Maria Hector had made connection with Angela Davis, Stokely Carmichael, Evelyn Cleavage, Jonathan Jackson, George Jackson, and all the movers and players of the Black Panther, the Black Liberation Struggle, the Soldat Brothers team. Because in that time, the whole world was under Black Liberation Struggle. So I and I struggle the struggle. Hence, when I reach America, it's all in my base. Yeah, my base a Spanish Harlem, and my base a Black Harlem. My base downtown, and my base uptown. I am a 5-borough man. Because a revolution, we there now. Now, keep in mind that the US tried to overthrow Jamaica. And in the time when they try to overthrow Jamaica, it's public knowledge Everybody knows say the CIA did run na Jamaica between 1972 and 1976. Everybody know that. That is the time of unstabilization of Jamaica. At the time, them say Michael Manley a go communist. Follow the ride. So everybody knows that the CIA did run and harm up Jamaica and try to take Jamaica from Michael Manley. But nobody now say who defend that. Nobody now say who defend that. I'm tired to tell you now. And me and my team defend that. I tell you say we play it out in the West. We play it out. Some man get big-headed and start act like them bigger than the government. So them get suppressed. But I play ball game. I tell you now, I play ball game. Because I play ball game, I tell you, say, I depend on the team. We are going to South Africa, go free South Africa. Me, Irish King, Michael Manley, Dudley Thompson, and me and them spatter. And me and them spatter on the ground. I tell you now. And me and them spatter. And me a go up in a Soweto. And me a go up in a Cribbies and Corner. And me up in a this ANC office. And me up in a the PAC office. And me see what go on. And me a balance the thing on the ground. Me the works man. Me telling you say at that time the US sending 50,000 students. Worker. How me control them too? Me talk up the thing them. Me not giving nobody business and I'm gonna tell you the works where me put in as a ghetto youth from Buzzwalk. That's why me tell you say when me talk my dog no bark. Cause me up in night before it free now. Oh, you never know. Me up in a South Africa before it free. Me help free that. But the point what I'm making now is the generational changes. Because here it is, Fedi, Maria Hector upon death row as a juvenile, sentenced for dead. And him fight right amnesty, right UN, right every hen, and nobody help him. The church, nobody couldn't help him until him link with the black liberation struggle. Black American is who put on the pressure through the black liberation angle with Angela Davis at the time. Because whether we like it or not, Angela Davis was a commander in the field, just like Asata, Joan Chesema. Me know my history now. So, Tariq can come talk to me. Fear can't come talk to me. Me tell you who can come talk to me. Jeremy Pratt. The man they know of I. Herman Bell. The man they know of I. Maluta Shakur just passed off the other day. You know, them man they know of my works up in Harlem. Come play with them man there. Now, Jason make the connection, and as it stands today, Black American standing predominate by themselves. And the reason why they're standing by themselves, for themselves, I will make Jason break it down. Because I have no problem with my brothers and sisters in America, you know. The problem I have is with the Jamaican them. Yeah, I make you know. The problem I have is the cartel generation. Because here it is now. My generation did make the connection with the black liberation struggle. Today, cartel link Fox News, and a Fox News him and look to help him as opposed to link the struggle to the black liberation struggle. So it's like cartel now accept the template for this crossover. First, him is so self-hate that him promote peer destructive element, bleaching, this, whoring, all kind of thing him promote. And it's like him a swing white. Cartel, that nah go help you. You have to know the powers that be. So now, what me I got do, with all due respect to my good brother, Black Authority Jason Black, you hear him name? Jason Black. Now I'm going to make Jason Black break it down. I'm not that versatile as yet where I can interact while he's talking. One time, I do it already before, and somebody tried to tell me, boy, brothers, oh yeah, make them Yankee. See it? Me no want no man come tell me what me fi do and how me fi run this. This is my program. My program, and me have maintain the connection of our blackness. So anybody when not black, you can take for yourself now and leave this program alone, because what me going to show now is the depths of this, is a political agenda running with cartel right now, and cartel upon the wrong side of the fence. Yeah. And if the death penalty was in, they would have broken blood clot neck. Because him don't know what time it is. Him don't even know who him up against. Yeah. And them little jiggy people where just a hinna them feelings. And I talk about King say cartel forget fake news. But that's not follow fake news. Yeah. But that's not follow fake news. When me not follow the news, me I study where I go on, because I have the blueprint and the template from 1962. I look upon when the whole away was slave. When the whole away was niggers. Right now, but I still a nigger. But that is what you call a whole nigger. Cartel is what you call a dirty nigger. Yeah, cartel a dirty nigger. Most of the guys are fan, dirty nigger. Yeah, and we gonna wrap up with dirty bungle.
Jamaica is a place that still considers itself to be British subjects. They want to be acknowledged by the British Commonwealth as British subjects. They think that raises their status. They like that. Haitians, what they've been fighting for is to be acknowledged as Frenchmen. Just like the Dominicans, oh yeah, I ain't forgot about you. Just like the Dominicans have been fighting to be acknowledged as Spaniards. When you get off the damn airplane, in the middle of the square there, big ass statues of 3 white men. The Dominicans have been fighting ever since to be acknowledged as Spaniards. I want you to recognize this behavior. I want you to recognize this. That matters a lot. I want you to see the difference. We ain't trying to identify as none of those people. We're not trying to identify as German. We're not trying to identify as British. We're not trying to identify as Spanish. We're not trying to identify as French. We understand these things, but what they have seen is that we have spent the last 2 centuries migrating away from them. We've established a separate identity to the extent that we have built American culture. That's the difference. That's the difference. They have not done that over there. They haven't established a separate culture, nor are they on the way to doing it. They want to be recognized as the flagship for French culture where they are. That's the difference. They want to be recognized by their European colonizers. So when they talk reparations, they want to leech off of us and piggyback off of us for folks who don't owe them anything. Because otherwise you got to buck up on the French, and you know that if you do that, you are going to be disowned. Not just geographically or financially, but culturally. France is going to disown you. You will be regarded as the niggas in the Caribbean. You will not be French anything. And you know it. Which is why everything has been centered around that. How do we put some pressure on France, but without doing so much that they disown us? And you look at us and you say, how can you niggas, how can you do this? How can you do this? Where is your culture? Our culture has literally built and rebuilt the world. So when you say culture, you mean France. Your connection to France. That's what you mean. You mean that. When you take a look at us and you don't see us trying to tether ourselves onto any of these other folks' cultures, we have consistently and persistently created our own. Why you need to make that jungle music? Why do you need to make that jungle? You have this good polka music that the Europeans have given you. Why do you not just simply ballroom dance? Can't you do the waltz? Why do you want to make trouble? You can just dance the waltz. These are good European dances. You can just dance the waltz. Why do you have to make something new? Where did that come from? It's called building a culture and building an identity, a foreign concept. When you sitting in the Caribbean trying to tether onto somebody else's because you don't think that you are good enough. You don't think that you are legitimate. And thus you've made yourself illegitimate. We came over here and did something that blew your minds. How can you just make the culture? How do you make this out of thin air? I cannot get jiggy with this. And yet, you've been trying to imitate us the whole damn time. No, it is not that we don't have a culture. You're saying you created this, but where does this connect to the European culture? It is not legitimate if the European. Where is this connection to the European culture? It doesn't have one. That's the difference. It doesn't have one. Ours isn't connected to them. We had to create it out of the soil with our own hands. We don't have any connection to them. This is an organism purely created by us, a foreign concept, when you're still trying to be a part of France, and still trying to be a part of Spain, and still trying to be a part of Britain.
9. Light. No penalty shall be imposed for any criminal offense which is severe in degree or description than the maximum penalty which might have been imposed for that offense at the time when it was committed. Chapter 3, Section 30, Jamaican Constitution, 1962. When they arrested me, I was 17 years old, and in accordance with the words of the law, a juvenile, I was charged with murder. The death sentence is mandatory for murder, and according to the word of the law, juveniles are not eligible for capital punishment. The fact that I had been kept in custody till I was 19 before I was brought to court and convicted did not alter the fact that I was a juvenile when charged. If you can recall, Priest Harold point out, who is a Baba priest, point out that the man them hold him when I think 16, and just throw a big man age pan him. Alright. I also point out too now that the man them capture me when I was 15, but because me is a bad juvenile, then just throw a big man age pan me. And the day I sentence me ball and tell the judge say me a juvenile. And the judge send go a Spanish Town court record, go pull some file. And when the court officer come back, him say according to the record, this little boy a 15. The judge so mad, cause him had all 9 cat. The man cat me, you know, cause I tell you me a real bad juvenile. The man had a cat for me and then get vexed and say, look, I'm crossing out sentence, but I'm now sentencing you to a place of confinement. Yeah, detain me for 3 years. Yeah, I so come me end up a NCB. Now, cause the people, cartel, this is a case law now. I keep telling you all about the Maria Hector case. This is the point of law now that your case, cartel, went to the Privy Council. The ruling of the Privy Council, I just find the answer to it. Listen again, cartel. Listen again, Gaza fans. Listen how the Constitution is interpreted. Maria Hector got a hold of the Constitution and he read it from cover to cover. And this what he discovered. As I went from cover to cover, of the Constitution, I realized that I had found a ray of light. As yet, it was not a magic formula. For all it meant was that the sentence was improper. The fact of the conviction was unquestioned by this development. In your case, Cartel, the jury tampering, right, was improper. The fact of your conviction is unquestioned. This is why when I went to the Privy Council, I went there the morning cheering and shouting for Gaza. The next day, Cartel, my story changed. Why it changed, Cartel? Because I observed that Paula Lowen brought 6 suitcases of evidence. I sat that day in the court and I did not hear the law lords question the evidence. This is why I said there is no way you're gonna walk. There is no way you're gonna free, Cartel. Don't make them fool you. The evidence is unquestionable. The court didn't consider any of the evidence. I mean, and I like say I get nothing now, I'm glad I'm happy, you know. My uncle make you know, say me see what you never see. Me see where I sat Bokana see, but now I tell you. The cell, I question various old prisoners. You hear that? Fedi, go up on the back of the vent and call down to the prison yard and question various old prisoner. Cartel me tell you, say if you talk to old prisoner, searching for a president. You hear me use the word all the while. Set case president. Fearlessly, I discussed it with my attorney, Roy Taylor, and I was assured that I had a case. My inquiry to Amnesty International and the Jamaica Council for Human Rights reinforced my finding. Furthermore, the death sentence as applied in my case was also indirect controversial to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. You hear how much things are going on for the favor? Cartel, what is going in your favor? Badass run the grapevine. For a good measure, I present the case formally to Amnesty International, to the National Alliance Against Racism, Repression in the United States, and to Sister Angela Davis. At a news conference in England, Angela Davis raised the matter of my case and gave a solidarity. At least I was getting some attention. Yeah, Angela Davis. Now you see the connection between the black liberation struggle in America and the black liberation struggle in Jamaica. Now you see why Badass went to America and joined the black liberation struggle. Because the connection was made while I was in New Cell Block for Boys. because Fedi had made connection with Stokey Carmichael, Jonathan Jackson, George Jackson, and Angela Davis. At some point in the chronicle, I will tell you about the freedom of Angela Davis when my brethren John hijack a plane at John F. K. Airport and demand that they release Angela Davis to him. Stay tuned for that piece. I like to talk our history, you know, because our history, nobody not talk about them history again, you know. Everybody a talk now like them they like Black American, and then they like this, and then they like that, and them like everybody else except themselves. Yes, like I said, the thing get deep. The thing get deep. Survival will go next, you know.
And you, in your crippled, slave encumbered mind, well, that is not a culture. The British did not sign off on this. We don't need them to sign off on a damn thing. We are our masters. Geographically, intellectually, culturally, spiritually, we are our own masters. We simply seek to draw our connection to ourselves. We are not looking for a European colony, nor a European nation, nor a European culture to tether ourselves onto. That is our culture, and it has redefined planet Earth as a result. Meanwhile, back in Haiti, now they're like, ooh, different identities. See, this is why you couldn't get Jamaica. Now, I ain't beating up on Jamaica tonight, but I got to call it like it is. Marcus Garvey couldn't make any headway in Jamaica because he was talking about Pan-Africanism, which was a new identity for the average Jamaican. That was new. Pan-Africanism was, by its name and its definition, isn't something that you can trace back to Europe. That was the difference. That's why he couldn't get them on board. Because, as I've always told y'all, they wasn't going to listen to Garvey unless what he was selling them was taking them back to Europe. Yes, I know. Scotland, I get it. But understand, he wasn't going to get them on board. He wasn't going to get them on board. Wasn't going to happen. Not at all. So they wanted to see about Germany and Ireland and Scotland. Give us something. Something that we can draw to some white folk. We can get jiggy with that. He couldn't sell them on Africanism. He couldn't sell them on themselves. Then he came to the foundation. He finally stopped messing around with the soup cans and the ash cans and the cast-offs, and he finally made his way to the foundation. And that was when he found, I'll be damned, these Negroes over here don't define themselves by the European. They're not looking for a European nation to tether themselves onto and to identify themselves with. That was when he found fertile soil. That was when the message took root. Because he finally found some people who were not looking to tie themselves to Europe and could define themselves by themselves. Brand new novel concept. And we were doing it way before Garvey was born. He had discovered some folks who were already doing it. And we showed him how to make it pop. And we've been carrying the banner before him and carrying it ever since. That's the difference. That's the difference. They haven't had anything else to do with that. Haiti was supposed to be talking like this 100 years ago. Let's just be totally honest with it. They supposed to be talking like this 100 years ago. What they were afraid of was losing the identity. They like those things, is the point I'm trying to tell you. They like being able to dress up like Frenchmen with the funny hats and the shoulder pads. They like that. That's what they've been waiting on. That was the identity. And the only folks who were actually resistant to it, once they died out, that was it. That was it. That's the point I want you to understand. Folks here been sitting up here trying to leech off of us, and that's the thing we've been trying to back them up off of. This idea of leeching off of us. We have been at the United States government's neck since before the end of antebellum slavery. Do you understand that? We here in America, we've been the only folks taking folks to task and being at their necks. We are the only ones who did that. Just us. Just us. Just us. Nobody else has got that. Nobody else has done that. And when we attempt to have that conversation with them, folks start backing up and folks start getting scared. They start backing up and they start getting scared. That's when it becomes an issue. Now they want to sit up here, and after all these years of trying to sit up here and jump on our backs, after all these years of wanting to do that, now all of a sudden it's changed. Now all of a sudden they got to go in a different direction. Well, hell, you'd have been further along, by the way, if you had bothered to do this before now. You'd have been further along if you had bothered to do it before now. But they're following the game plan that we laid out here. They were supposed to be talking to France decades ago. They were supposed to be talking to the UN decades ago. There's the difference. That's the difference. We set down the template. We set down the model. Now everybody else is getting to watch it. That's a big difference. You want to know about what we've done? You want to know what we built? You want to know what we have? That's what we've done. That's what we've done. That's what we built. Yeah, you're starting to sound like us now. Now you're suddenly starting to sound like us. Oh yeah, one more thing. Let me go ahead and replay this one more time. I want y'all to hear what they're saying now. I want you to hear what they're saying because I want you to understand exactly what's going on.
50 million francs for your freedom, or we'll enslave and kill you again. Let's look at a contemporary comparison. the Louisiana Purchase. The US actually purchased much of the present-day South and Midwest from France back in the year 1804. More than 2 million square kilometers of land, about 77 times the size of Haiti. How much did the US pay France? 80 million francs, or $15 million. 21 years later, France forced Haiti to pay almost double this amount, 150 million francs. Now obviously, Haiti did not have that kind of money, so France made it borrow the money from French bankers. There were banker fees and interest, which meant Haiti was paying off the ransom for 122 years. The final payment was made in 1947. That is when Haiti was free of the French debt.
Now, you do realize this goes straight across, world wars, right? You do realize that, don't you?
Final payment was made in 1947.
I mean, you do realize we're talking about across world wars, right? World wars are broken out, and we're still bowing to France. Europeans slugging it out over there, and we're still bowing to France. We're not taking this the time to regroup. We're still bowing to France over there. That's the issue I want you to take a look at.
War reparations are a way for the losing side to pay for the lives lost. This is how it has always been, the business side of war. But what if the roles were reversed? If the winner of a war had to pay the loser, even if the war was justified? If it was the morally right thing to do? We don't have to imagine that scenario. It's what happened to Haiti. And the country has been suffering for 200 years.
Okay, now I want you to understand, did you hear this right here? Now I want to go back here. Now, because I want you to hear, did you hear the tricky ass language these Indians put in there for that? Did you hear what they just said?
War. But what if the roles were reversed? If the winner of a war had to pay the loser, even if the war was justified?
If the winner of a war had to pay the loser, even if the war was justified. Now, what the hell kind of logic is being suggested here? Even if the war was justified, if somebody attacks you and you win the war, paying them, even if the war was just, excuse me, if I got attacked, what the hell are you talking about? What kind of moral test is this supposed to be? Well, I mean, you won the war. I mean, even if it was justified, could you still have to pay them? That's exactly what, even if it was justified. Yeah, y'all heard them say that there. Well, I mean, even if it was justified, who's still kissing the French's ass?
It has always been, the business side of war. But what if the roles were reversed? If the winner of a war had to pay the loser, even if the war was justified? If it was the morally right thing to do? We don't have to imagine that scenario. It's what happened to Haiti. And the country has been suffering for 200 years because of this. Haiti is the poorest country.
So they're letting you know here, it's like, oh boy. Yeah, man, look here. Take even the way in which they're reporting it. Wow, would you have to pay them even if it was justified? That tells you a whole lot right there, doesn't it?
Total debt was worth. Well, that is a question that will be debated by a United Nations group, the UN Permanent Forum on People of African Descent. 20 NGOs have come together. They're asking the forum for justice. They want France to return what it took from Haiti. When you add interest, it may be between $150 to $200 billion.
So you get that. Now, I want you to understand something here. I want you to ask yourselves a question right now. I want you to ask yourselves a question. Because there's some different language you're not hearing. Can somebody please find for me all the Haitians or people from the Caribbean saying, you know, you Haitians are lazy. You are asking for a handout. They do not owe you nothing. You should be happy that you paid them off and the French is gone and you should pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. Can somebody find me the Haitians or the folks in the Caribbean wagging their fingers at the Haitians, giving them that talk? The one they try to give us. And can you find somebody doing that? Because you see, when I open up my phone lines and when folk come over here, all of it, they sitting up here telling us about what we don't need and what we should be okay with, we should be all right with. Oh, well, just leave that there. Well, that's what you hear there. But by the way, I'm just asking the question here. By the way, has anybody jumped up at them and started back talking to them and telling them, hey, you don't need that? Has anybody done that? Anybody? Just asking for a friend. Because I couldn't find them doing it. Couldn't find them doing it. You notice they're not giving them that talk now, are they? They're not sitting up here wagging their... Nobody's telling the Haitians about what they don't need to have and they don't need to do. And that was so long ago. The usual cliches that they come at us with. You guys need to do more. You don't see them saying that. You don't see them saying that to themselves. You don't see the Haitians saying that to themselves. You don't see the Caribbeans saying that to themselves. You don't see anybody doing that. You don't see any of them doing that. They're not taking them to task and telling them, you just lazy niggas. You don't see that happening. You don't see that occurring. You don't see that happening at all. Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is that all of a sudden we're not hearing the same things? Why do you think that is that all of a sudden you're not hearing the same, you're not seeing the same conversation taking place? Why is that? Why is that? Because when we talk about reparations, you get a whole bunch of folks who jump up here telling us what we don't need. Telling us about how long it was ago. Flying Caribbean flags. That's what we hear. And I just couldn't help but notice that when the conversation has come up in Jamaica or Haiti, you don't see them saying that to each other. Did you notice that through all this, by the way, you know what you heard, but did you notice what you're not hearing? When you go down into the comment section of the video, well, they're not sitting up here yelling at them, telling them, that was so long ago and Haiti needs to fix its own. What about black on black crime? Did you get that? In the comment section, they're not talking about what about black on black crime. Not doing any of that. They're not doing any of that. It's straight, yes, Haiti needs, the French need to pay, and America needs to pay, and everybody needs to pay. Did you get that? No, they're not giving any of the usual white supremacist talking points, and that conversation's not happening. Now that they are talking about getting something, all of a sudden that's what's going. They're not talking about it's too expensive. They're not talking about be grateful. They're not talking about what can and can't be afforded. They're not talking about black on black crime, and Haiti has taken black on black crime to a new dimension. No shade, just saying. But that's not what you niggas need to clean up your neighborhood. You niggas need to stop being lazy. Where is your culture? Notice that's not going on. It's just straight. Hey! Oh yeah, one more thing. One more thing. Let me show you one more thing here. When you take a look down in it and whatnot, when you get to the comment section, you take a look down here. Want y'all to see something. Talking about France. The poorest countries in the world, irrespective of the continent, seem to have one thing in common. France. Trying to drag the USA into it here. Can we get more money? We want more. Another one here trying to drag the USA into it. We should have reparations. We need reparations for people of Haitian descent. Okay. You can see what's going on there. They're trying to drag them into it. As soon as you mention France, they start running. The U.S. need to, yes, America need to give us reparations. What about France? Well, we'll get to it later. France needs to leave the gold in Haiti alone. I believe they owe Haiti more than 200 billion. Did y'all notice something? France needs to pay back the Haitian people. Did you all notice something? Do you know if France owes Haiti 200 billion, and how much money does Spain owe Latin America? Here, did you see how you set these things off? You see how this sets off an avalanche? But by the way, did you know that they owe that and more? Okay, but do you know what nobody in the comments is saying? Nobody is saying France can pay us 200 billion or they can give us scholarships. France can pay us $200 billion or they can pay us in Bitcoin. France can pay us $200 billion or they can pay us with college tuition. Do you notice what's not being said? That money would be great for Haiti to get out of the mess that we're in. Yes, France needs to pay. Yes, France must pay now. They all talking about cash money on the table. Nobody's talking about scholarships. Nobody's talking about education. Nobody's talking about fertilizer and cattle feed. All that garbage that they come over, that the Coleman cruises come over here and try to sell to us. None of them are doing that. Nobody's in this comment section talking about, the real way to deal with this, it would be we need Haiti to have scholarships. If Haiti would only have scholarships, then this would leave stuff out of poverty. This is what France actually owes us: education, Bitcoin, cattle feed, fertilizer, if we only had some land. All you hear is folk down here backing the money. Yes, it owes billions. Ain't nobody talking about a damn thing but cash payment. No, France owes Haiti a great deal more, but 200 billion is a nice down payment. Well, I'll be damned. Now, isn't this interesting? When we are talking, everybody, including the Haitians, anchor babies, and everyone else, tells us we don't need cash money. Folks who just showed up last year show up telling us what we're not owed, that we don't need no money. You looking for a handout. We would never do that. Talking about them, it ain't nothing but cash money down the line. Why, not a one of them has said a word about college tuition, Bitcoin, farmland, potato sacks, comic books. Isn't this interesting? You start to get the impression that whenever these folks jump up and say this, they trying to run a scam. Damn! You kind of get the impression that when they jump into our circles and jump into our conversations, they kind of trying to pull a little scam every time they talk among us. Because if this was one of their actual principles, why is it that when it's time for your folks to talk about reparations, you don't want to discuss anything but cash? Everything you talking about is cash money. You don't want to speak on anything else. Just cash money. Just the cash money. And that's it. That's it. I want y'all to understand that this is not a figment of your imagination. This isn't something you just made up. This is real. The conversations with these other folk go radically different. The conversations with these other people go radically different. When the conversation turns to them, it's all the stuff they telling us we don't need. All of a sudden, everybody's in unison over there. That's right. We need the money and much more. 200 billion is not enough. We need to have far more. Meanwhile, those of us who made it possible for you to even be alive long enough to ask for anything, then all of a sudden, you done sat up here and said, oh, well, this is what you don't need. And we're the ones who made it possible for you to talk at all. So you want cash money for you, but you want to block it for us? You want to discuss cash reparations and cash payments, but only for you. You don't want to discuss it. You want to block the conversation for us. We see what you doing. See, that's the game that they try to play there. They sit up here, they jump ship, they flee their ass to America, they run over here under our blanket of protection, and then with the American government, they try to undermine us, and then back in their homeland, they try to shake down someone other than the American government. See, that's the hustle they got going. Okay, let me escape to America, hide under you niggas' protection, and then when I get there, okay, I'm gonna see if I can hit France up when I get to my folks back in Haiti. So that way I can hit up France for what I'm trying to block you from getting in America. So I can get the benefits of being in America, and I can get that reparations from France without making America mad. So yeah, I'm gonna get the reparations, but I'm gonna get them for me. I'm gonna tell America don't give you nothing, so America take it easy on me while I'm sitting over here trying to shake down France. Yeah, that's the hustle there. That's the hustle there. And I want you to understand that that's not accidental when you see that kind of thing occurring. That's not accidental. They know what in the hell they're doing. They see that, so I wanted you all to see clearly here. Folks are following our lead. When they ask about what is our culture, it's the culture that allowed you to finally, after a century and a half of ass kissing and boot licking, sit up here and go take France to task. It doesn't take courage to talk crap to America. America doesn't owe you anything. It would take real guts and real courage and real fortitude to go at France. You know why? Because France, you're in danger of getting invaded if it's France. You're in danger of being excommunicated if it's France. France has an atrocious record of assassinating African leaders and Caribbean folk. They have an atrocious record of doing that. And you know you're going to have to stand up like we did. And you're scared to do it. So you trying to see if you can sit up here and rally for reparations on another continent. But what you're not doing is standing in Haiti and saying, hey, we kicking it off right here. You had to wait and follow our lead. Now you done bucked up a little courage to go talk about France. Let's be honest, what the damn shame of this is, we here in America have been talking about France and Haiti now for 50 years. While they've been down there in Haiti dancing and singing and saying, oh, well, we broke, but we happy. We've been the ones over here talking about what France owes Haiti. We've been the ones over here in our African history classes, our black history classes, talking about what France owes Haiti and the Congo and all these other places. We've been the one doing that. While these other folks were sitting up here going to Britain to get their knighthood and seeing if they could get them some French bread and get some pictures taken with the white aristocracy in France. We were the ones saying all of this. You haven't had a French reparations movement in Haiti. You haven't had them doing the numbers. This $200 billion number, that's new. That's not old, that's new. Shout out to Tariq. If you don't have the documentary 1804, if that one don't come out, then you don't have these East Indians talking about 1804. The message is out. If we didn't spearhead these messages, ain't nobody saying nothing about it. Because you damn sure didn't have a Haitian movement talking about it. They show up in America. Oh, I'm going to say it. They show up in America and they go looking for the Clintons. They go looking for some white charities. They go looking for some white politicians to get booed up with. That's what they've been doing. Every time they have half a chance, they didn't come over here demanding reparations from the French. When they show up in America, they trying to get a job at the White House. They trying to get a job at the Waffle House. They trying to get a job at the outhouse. They didn't have no smoke for France. Don't even try it. All over Queens and New York. Them Haitians ain't had no damn smoke for France. There is no anti-France movement in Queens, New York. Whole bunch of Haitians, France runs the yard. No smoke for France. Nobody was going over that number. And it wasn't until you actually looked at the fact that, I'll be damned, this is diabolical. They were holding Haiti up for its own damn freedom. That's where that $200 billion number comes from, because we said, wait a minute, how much did y'all pay them? Okay, let's translate that into current money. Let's go ahead and adjust that for current money. It's like, oh, that's over $200 billion. That's where that number comes from. That number. If we hadn't been stomping for that and making an issue of that and teaching them, because we had to teach them how to calculate what reparations should be, at least at a ground floor. If we didn't sit down and teach them, they would still be over there today talking about Papa Doc and Baby Doc. That's what they be doing today. They be talking about them. Not a word about France. Then got the nerve to come over here and try to be a stumbling block and an obstacle in our way. Not a damn obstacle for the French. You ain't seen them be an obstacle for them. They ain't said nothing about them. They ain't sitting up here in the streets in Haiti about the French. And when they come over here, they try to get booed up. None of them had any smoke for France. None of them were talking about what France owes. None of them are in the streets in New York talking about what France owes. We were the ones talking about what France owes them. They haven't even had the courage to stand up for themselves for what France owes them. Been dead ass quiet all this time. Now that you see that we've started to make headway, now you want to start talking about, oh, by the way, you know the French, they owe us. We think they should give us 200 billion, no, 2,000 billion dollar. Well, that's strange. Just a few weeks ago, you were lazy and handout and they don't really owe nothing there. That's what you said then. That was what you said then. That's what you said then. Everything changes when they speak to us. Everything changes only when you speak to us. That's the point I want to make here. You don't have these foreign news outlets talking about this. They are sitting up here confirming that what we have said has been accurate. They're confirming that we've had an impact. They're confirming that we made headway. They are confirming that the culture of resistance has caught on. These folks are adopting our language, adopting our statements. It's caught on. That's what they're recognizing here. That's what they're recognizing here. Now, all of a sudden, the folks who are calling us troublemakers and radicals and this, that, and the other, now they got something for themselves. Now, all of a sudden, the tune is beginning to change. I don't know, folks. Should we just sit back? Maybe we should go into a few places and say, you guys are lazy. Why are you begging France for money and a handout? What about black on black crime? What is your culture in Haiti? I don't know. Because understand, if we do that, it's not going to be a schism among them. They're all going to be on the same page talking about, this is the problem. You Americans do not mind your own business. You are haters. You are haters. You are haters. You are the white man's puppets. It'll turn into that then. All of a sudden, it's going to be a racial issue. All of a sudden, it'll be a racial issue. Just noticing. By the way, all of a sudden, it'll be that. However, you might disagree.
What's up, Jason? This is Joe from Toledo.
All right, Joe from Toledo, what's on your mind?
Man, you always keep it 100. Like I always said, I ain't calling in a minute because my work schedule. But, the beginning explaining it in great details how we need reparations by way of us leading the way. Our words of power is dangerous for them. 10 toes down, we are and have been trendsetters on every past and present events. That's why it comes back to us. And you explained it very well in the same logic of that answer. We ain't going for those politics, man. It's over. We are done with that, thanks to you and the new black media, especially your quote. Cut the check. Now, our new lead needs to be behind closed doors to stop them from following our new agenda. Bring together our think tank in private.
Well said. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Oh, yeah. One more thing. By the way, one more thing. Haiti isn't gonna get a single franc or frankfurter out of France if we here in the foundation don't back the play. What? Oh yeah, one more thing. If we, the freedmen here in America, the descendants of the American slaves, if we don't back Haiti getting something from France, it ain't gonna happen. France is not gonna bow to a little impoverished island in the Caribbean. It ain't gonna happen. So if we don't beat the drum and if we don't bang the drum, it ain't gonna happen. Spoiler alert, you're not gonna get a penny if we don't back it. If we sit back and say, yeah, good luck with that, you'll be here until 5,000, forget 1804, 5004, still talking about, we friends, we keep. Just thought I'd point that out, and if you think I'm wrong, watch us just sit back and say, yeah, good luck with that. Because the first thing you're going to try to do is to tie your struggle to us. And as if our struggle is yours. And we like, well, wait a minute. No. I thought we was niggas in America and you Haitians and your lineage. We're not all black people. Yes, we are black now. We are all black people today. Well, it's strange. When we were talking, you were Haitian. We were the Americans and you're Haitian. Now that you want something from France and you can't get it without us, all of a sudden now we black. It did not matter where the slave ship drop us off at. Yeah, but it matters where that bastard's gonna pick you up at. So, by the way, just spoiler alert here. You can talk to France all you want to. The United States runs the UN. And if we don't back it, if we do not lend our moral legitimacy to this, we are the only people with a legitimate claim to go to the United States government and hold their feet to the fire for anything for black people from anywhere. If we, the descendants of American slaves, do not back it, it ain't happening. You just gonna be out there bumping your gums, and eventually you're gonna get your flip-flops out the street and you'll have nothing. If we don't back it, you go nowhere. The only reason you're talking about it now is because you're trying to latch on to what we've done. Just like in civil rights, everybody and their mama tried to latch on to us because we're the only ones who ever made any headway or progress. Now here you come hoping to latch on to us. Boy, I hope we don't sit up here and tell you, look here, get it how you live. You make that on your own. That's not really our issue. It would be a damn shame if our response were to be, that's not really our issue. Wouldn't that all of a sudden the folks talking about, what does it matter if you support us or not? We got the white peoples here. They support us. You can do nothing. You know what? Yes, we can do nothing. We can sit back and we can do nothing. And just understand that's what you'll get from France. Nothing. Just like you've been getting. Nothing but a hard time and a hard way to go. If we sit back and say, yeah, this ain't really our issue. This ain't our fight. They're Haitians. They're not like us. They're Haitians. They need to go handle their business, but we don't need to extend ourselves or our struggle. This isn't a black struggle. This is a Haitian struggle. What? This isn't a black struggle. This is a Haitian struggle. Don't like it?
And deal with it, nigga.
Wouldn't it be a shame if you trying to sit up here and buck up to France and then you calling us, you niggas in America, we are all black people. And we tell you, actually, no. Your issue is not a black issue. Your issue is a Haitian issue. So call us back when there's a black issue. We're talking about our lineage. So you got a Haitian issue. That's some Haitian problems. We tried to get y'all on the black thing and you told us, I'm not black, nigga. We Haitians. We Haitians. Okay, stay Haitian. Wait a minute, but France. Well, that sounds like a Haitian issue to me. You're not keeping it real. That's the problem. You better pick it up on your own. Call America code 929. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Jason. This is Daryl from Chicago.
All right, Daryl from Chicago. What's on your mind?
Jason, another excellent broadcast as always. And you hit the nail right on the head about everything. But there's one other thing that really upsets me when all of a sudden you start calling yourself Haitian, which is a color. It seems to be that we already know that it's a black issue, period. They know that. We know that. And yes, we're the lead on everything that's out here. But at the same time, they don't understand if they go jump on board with what we're doing here, in addition to that, of course we'll jump on board and help them out. But they don't do that. They separate themselves. But they know that they ain't going to get nothing going up against France by themselves. We set the tone for this. We even set the tone for in the United Nations right now. We got the walls shaking and shivering right now about reparations for Black Americans, Foundation of Black Americans. It's the only way anybody else is going to get something is going to come through us, with our help, bottom line. And that's a tremendous point you just made. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. We're the only people with any moral legitimacy who have made headway against white supremacy. We're the only ones with the moral legitimacy to do so. And Haiti has unfortunately spent the better part of the last century trying to distance itself. And our issue is you ain't gonna sit up here and tell us you black when it's convenient. You're not gonna be black when it's convenient. You gonna be it all day, every day, 24/7, or you're not in it all. Simple as that. What y'all gonna do? Sounds like a Haitian problem. Call them area code 469. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Thomas calling from Dallas, Texas.
Thomas from Dallas. What's on your mind?
Man, Jason, man, you've been cooking, man. I mean, everything you said is true. I mean, that what people don't realize is that when Black Americans, Foundation of Black Americans, fought the most oppressive regime that ever lived in this world was white supremacy. A small number of us fought, and we never bowed down to white supremacy. And so let's say you got 1 billion people in Africa, and they haven't been able to do what we have done in America, or the large numbers that you have in the Caribbean. They haven't been able to do what we have done in America, which fight white supremacy. And we haven't let off. We haven't stopped fighting them. So yeah, what you said is true. Like if we was fighting for Palestine right now, and that war would be over with, because when we get into something, the world listens. Same thing with you. Ask South Africa when you start fighting for South Africa, things change. So, like you said, Haiti's not going to get that money unless we back them.
I mean,
Nobody's
look,
going to get reparations.
You make a very good point there. You're touching off what I said here before. We defined the global culture today. We defined it. When we speak, the world listens because we're the ones who redefine the world's language. So you see, if a message needs to get out, we are the people who've been the best messengers, the best spokespeople, the best marketers. We're the only black folk who've done that. We've excelled even outside the black society. So yeah, if we're not the ones delivering the message, you simply won't get heard. That's it. You make all the noise in Port-au-Prince you want to, but if we are not, we're the most competent people to deliver the message. We're the most competent messengers and spokespeople. You're trying to do it on your own. You're just going to get drowned out. If we're not carrying the message, you will be ignored. I'll let you have the last word.
And also, I mean, with that Tesla that called you last Sunday, man, and you cooked that dude so good, man, and so they always hated us for that reason. And black people, we never understood what was going on, and until social media came along, and we start paying attention. Wait a minute! Every time we talk about reparations, these people come in our mentions, and they try to drown us out, tell us we don't need reparations, we don't need money. But when it's time for them to get money, like you said, it's no college fund. There's no we don't need this money, or we don't shoot. They saying cut the check. you know what I mean? They saying cut the check.
Oh, not just that. The check you talking about cutting ain't big enough. Not only are they saying cut the check, they're saying actually for us, the check you cut it not big enough. It must be bigger. While they telling us, hey, what do you guys ask for? You did too much. It is too. Why don't you go work for some of this? We give you some scholarships. You should be happy to let you stand there. Okay, well, y'all should be happy to let you stand in Port-au-Prince.
B1, Jason.
Black First, brother, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Let me get caller from area code 321. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason, how you doing? This is Antoine from Orlando.
Antoine from Orlando. What's on your mind, brother?
I definitely had a call. Great broadcast. As you know, I'm from Orlando, so Haiti Part 2, basically. And, that's exactly how they are. My ex-wife is Haitian, and she used to say some slick stuff, and I had to get her correct. I'll give you an example, and it's not just Haitians. All the Tethers believe this. If you don't act like a stereotype of American is, they don't think you're a black American. Did you know that? I used to get called. They think I was Haitian or Caribbean or something because I don't act what they see on TV, basically. You follow what I'm saying?
Well, definitely, and like I said, they certainly do have an idea of it where basically they think they're above, and so they're looking for somebody who's below, and that's how they define it.
You're correct. And also, another thing about culture, we have a culture of no biting. We don't like to copy people. We're naturally original. That goes all the way to hip-hop. That's how you know hip-hop was created by us. Because if you copy somebody's flow, we would call you out. If you look at them, they just copy, like you said earlier. And,
there's a difference between copying and leeching. There's where the issue falls here. It's one thing to be a copycat. It's another thing just to be a leech. And when we're sitting up here making headway and you're trying to be an obstacle for us because you think you're going to maneuver a better position over here while you try to play both sides against the middle, that's not copycatting anymore. Now we just dealing with leeches. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller area code 323. You're on live with Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, good evening, big brother Jason. This is brother Elijah calling out of Brooklyn, New York.
All right, brother Elijah, out of Brooklyn, what's on your mind?
Brother, I got 3 questions, and then I want to add to your last point that you spoke to when you spoke to a brother two callers ago. My first question I need to ask you is with the Haitians, they see us talking about reparations. Now they want to jump on board and get reparations from France. My question, you know more about this than I do. If France if there was a chance in hell this would happen, hypothetically, if France decided, okay, they're going to pay Haiti the $200 billion, hypothetically, do you believe that an invasion will follow suit right behind that one?
Now, there is the question, because this is the issue that you're having in Africa and South America to a lesser degree, but in Africa right now, this is the issue you're having. In the places that have been trying to get France out, France has immediately gone to work undermining their governments, funding insurrectionists, which are mercenaries. So they've immediately gone to work to do that. You just watch Haiti's leader get killed by some South American mercenaries. Broad daylight. Well, not broad daylight, but out in the open. They done caught the folk, and you haven't heard a word about it since. So with that being the case, everywhere you go where France is finding itself not so welcome, France starts sending in soldiers. They start trying to kill folk. They start destabilizing the government. Look, people, I posted about this years ago. Without Africa, France is a third world government. Without Africa, France today, not France 200 years ago, France of 2024 is a third world country without Africa.
Yes, sir.
So they cannot afford to do that. They have admitted that they are a third world nation without Africa. So if you do attempt to do that, you're basically, think of it this way, Elijah. It would be the French version of the Second Gulf War. At some point, they would basically have to just send in, okay, look, we just taking y'all stuff.
Yes, sir.
They'll swear that, oh, this government is oppressing these people and we knock these folks off. Okay, now we put in some leaders they're good and friendly, and oh yeah, the so-called new good, friendly humanitarian leaders just so happen to be all buddy-buddy with France. That's what that'll be.
Yes, sir.
So they'll kill, like it's like Patrice Lumumba. They'll kill the folk you got in charge, and then the folk they put in place. Oh, well, you were a dictator. You're a dictator. Nobody's dying. You're a dictator. So we removed the dictator, and now we have a new president, not duly elected, a new president, and oh, he just so happens to be pro-France. Oh well. So what I'm saying is, eventually, that's what it's gonna get down to. That they're just going to have to start knocking folk off and, okay, look, we just replacing your damn government. And who going to stop us?
Yes, sir.
Now, the United States can stop them. Britain can stop them. But the real question is, what's to make them do that? Haiti can't.
Yes,
if France wanted to go at Haiti right now, the only thing that is stopping them is that they're in our hemisphere over here where America is. That's the only thing that would stop it. Is where Haiti geographically is located. Other than that, they could go buck wild on Haiti. And they would. That's why they're over there in Africa doing it, but not in Haiti. So they would have to destabilize Haiti by other means. They'd have to find other means to do it. And like I'm saying, look, a dozen mercenaries took out the damn government in Haiti. They killed the damn president in Haiti. Just a dozen mercenaries. You think France couldn't do that for 5 or 10 years?
Yes, sir.
And just send y'all a kite. Look here, if you don't get somebody in there who's pro-France, I don't know how much longer your man gonna make it. If you don't get somebody in there who's pro-France, I don't know. He might have the same accident the last 4 niggas had.
Yes, sir.
Now we just get to gangsterism. Okay. I'll let you have the last word.
Yes, sir. Well, yeah, I got just 2 other quick questions, and then to answer your point. The second question, real fast, is when you're talking about my question with the Haitians. It seems like for the interacting with them for so many years, and you know when they talk about a lot of us foundational Black Americans here in this country, they seem like they're in denial, like they come from an actual poop hole, okay? But it's not, all right, and a lot of it was their fault because they have a lot of off-code behavior. But would they swear that they're the greatest thing that ever happened to us? Why they're in denial? And then my question is, if we were to get behind their reparations, my last question, if we were to get behind their reparations to France, well, shouldn't there be a nice exchange, like, hey, they need to roll out the red carpet and actually give us some land. No red tape, nothing. Those are my questions.
Yeah, I mean, let me deal with that in reverse order here. First of all, yeah, we shouldn't give our vote, our help, our support, our financial support, our spiritual support, moral support. Folks, we have got to stop giving folks something for nothing. If anybody wants anything from us now, cash, gas, ass, you pay up.
Yes, sir.
We can't give nothing for free. We done did this free stuff. We've been living on this damn honor system, and ain't nobody got no honor except us. No, everybody got to pay the toll at the gate. You want us to show up for you? We are off the honor system because y'all ain't got no honor. That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Yes,
nobody rides for free on our back anymore. You gonna have to deposit some funds. We want to know before we quote help you, what's in it for us? You've been eating off us for over a century. You got well fed. Y'all big and fat and round and well fed. You see what's in it for you. From here on in, what's in it for us? What's in it for us? We're the ones making sure them folks ain't going down there and kicking your damn teeth in. And when you show up over here, it's hey zaddy. So hell no. From here on in, what's in it for us? If you want our support for anything. Anything.
Yes, sir.
We need, folks, we've been talking about this for our vote. We need to just have this as our culture now. Hey, what's in it for me? Because we tried the honor system and you didn't acknowledge the honor system. So if it ain't nothing in it for us, I ain't gonna put my neck out there like it. It's not gonna happen. Period.
Yeah, exactly. No, and then the other question: why is them brothers? Why are they in denial? Like they don't come from the poop holes.
They're not in denial.
And then when they come up to us,
they're not in denial. No, what you're hearing are massive coping mechanisms. It's not denial.
Oh,
because the reality is in front of their damn faces. There's a reason that they don't go back where they came from. The reality is undeniable. That's a game they play over here. They play that game over here. Like the Dinesh D'Souza's and them other folks. That's a game they play over here. You don't hear none of that talk back where they come from. Where they come from, they don't talk like that. It's only when they get over here. And that's it. When they're over there and when they over there in India and white folks show up in India, the Indians are real humble. When the Africans are in Africa and the white folks show up in Africa, they get real humble. It's only when they come over here and are talking to us that all of a sudden they start acting like they got something to brag on. But if that was the energy they had, they'd be doing it where they are. They wouldn't get real mumble and staring down at their feet when the white folks show up on their home soil. So just understand it's a massive coping mechanism is what it is. And this is for your consumption, not because it's real. This is something that they feed to people who they don't think know any better. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 703. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, man, this is beautiful. Yusuf calling from Arlington, Virginia. All right, Yusuf from Arlington. What's on your mind? This is your scope of international affairs and the global order and how the world is shaped culturally is unparalleled, man. I mean, I was just motivated just to hearing you speak on a global level in regards to defining the global culture out here, because I mean, let's just face it, man. This goes back to the Cold War, dealing with the 1950s, the State Department and the jazz ambassadors dealing with exchanging the Black Americans' arts and culture to fight the Cold War. This is unprecedented. I mean, because they said we want to give the Black Americans a global stage and exhibiting their cultural music as jazz, as a sense of share, because the Black Americans have a sense of shared suffering. These are their words. When Karen Hughes, she was the Undersecretary of the State of the State Department for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs. She even admitted this. It was under her administration where they created a hip hop office in the State Department. And their reason for creating the hip hop office is because the Black Americans has this. They know how it's a music that expresses a pain, quote unquote. This is what she said. Occurring use. It transcends language barriers as well. So inside the State Department, they have what we call a hip hop office, and it showcased on their brochures especially when they was dealing with the Muslim world back in the 9/11 and after 9/11, they was showcasing all of the Muslim black rappers, comedians, Dave Chappelle, Wu-Tang Clan. They had them on State Department brochures. And so the like in which she was talking about the business model of the embassies, she said the embassies of the future will be decentralized, and they will take Starbucks' business model of going where the customer is in multiple venues. And then she went on and said that more and more we are using technology to go over the walls to people. So,
well, definitely what we want to make sure of is that this is something that's very easily transportable. We have made it where it's internationally understood, and it's become the dominant culture in that regard. But understand what it is. It's a culture of resistance, which is what makes it unique. Ours is unapologetically resistant. That's a whole brand new thing. The part where you run into trouble is all these other folks who come from places where that's not what their culture is. Then when they show up with us, it becomes about undermining it. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller area code 484. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Patrick from Allentown, PA.
All right, Patrick from Allentown, Pennsylvania. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion on something. So say there's a chance that, France gives Haiti reparations, or Britain gives the other Caribbean islands that. What are the chances of them cutting the tethers and their anchor babies here a piece of that pie? I mean, some of them ran across the border, no passport or anything, had their kids, been here forever. What are their real ties? It's almost like they gave up their identity to cosplay us, and when they're not going to get our reparations for slavery. So
no, what they're gonna do is they're all gonna try to jockey for their former identity back. Remember, when you're dealing with backstabbing cultures and folks who freeloading cultures and backstabbing cultures, all of a sudden they're gonna try to get on the first thing with wings back to Haiti. They're going to try to get on the first thing with wings back to Haiti and fill out the paperwork. They're going to try to get on the first thing back to the Dominican Republic and fill out the paperwork. The first thing back to Jamaica and fill out the paperwork. All of a sudden, you're going to see a mass international movement for dual citizenship. That's what you'll see.
Wow. You think that's at the core of why they get into our conversations? They know how tough it's going to be to actually get anything. I mean, I feel like their reparations is the ability to cosplay us.
Well, no. They jump in our conversation because we're the only ones with a snowball's chance of getting something. Understand, there is no reparations conversation going on in your African Facebook groups, your African Twitter pages, your Caribbean. There ain't no Caribbean Twitter page. There ain't no reparations talk going on over there. Nothing. Because they know it ain't going to happen. We're the only ones who have actually made things occur. That's why they're sitting up jumping in our mentions, because we're the only ones who've actually demonstrated we can get something done. When we move, the world changes. So that's the reason why. They know that we can get it done. They know it. If they didn't think we could get it done, they would treat it like UFOs and conspiracy theories. They wouldn't be talking about it. What they're upset about is that they hear us mentioning it and specifically saying who will not be eligible. Now it's not that they don't believe you. They're just trying to discourage you now. Because understand something, if you don't believe me, just do this little thought experiment. If we were discussing reparations for quote unquote all black people who suffered oppression, if we were including the illegals and the Caribbean and anybody else in it, do you think they'd be saying we wouldn't get it then? I don't think they would say a word against it. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 347. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is John J. calling in from Alpharetta, Georgia.
All right, John J., what's on your mind?
Well, I was just basically just thinking about everything you've been breaking down. And foundational Black Americans, we don't hate on other blacks around the world for trying to get what they're owed, but it just seems that it don't seem like it is. These other groups, it's almost like they don't want us to get it. And we have always supported our brothers, when they're going through turmoil around the world. I just remember me and you, Jason, around the same age, during that apartheid. I just remember blacks over here in the 80s standing up. I remember they did an episode on Different World about it. I remember they made rap songs about apartheid and all that ended. And it just seems like we just can't get that back. And I like what we're doing now. We're just saying, no, hey, we're not going to support y'all anymore. Y'all don't have to get it out the mud like we have. And I work at a hospital here in Atlanta, and I work around all these tethers. And, man, when you say a backstabbing culture, man, that's an understatement and a half, some of the stuff they'll do. And the minute a non-black come around them saying people will cheese and show their teeth big and bright, man, I just like, man, now I get it, how they can be the majority in their country and still get subjected to racism, and they outnumber the people 50 to 60 to 1. It used to baffle me how that could happen, but now I see it just working around them. That tribalism and that classism that they'll try to pull when they get over here, man, it's just terrible. So,
well, I mean, because now they've got the luxury of not being responsible for the crap they talk, and so it's really a culture where they just bull jive artists, and where they came from, that was reality. Nothing got done. They over here safe, man. We were running things, and they're running things in the ground.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 661. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay,
this is Shelley calling from Lake Los Angeles, California.
Okay, brother, it sounds like, I don't know if your phone is staticking or whatever is going on, brother. It sounds like you're calling us from Osama bin Laden satellite phone.
Let me just say this. I think it's time for us to unite and not help anybody. I don't care who it is. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I think so. Go ahead.
Okay, that's mainly what I want to call in and say. I'm 88 years old, and I've seen black people with their Rainbow Coalition. It don't work. Hope and change don't work. Okay, you have to unite and be one. Okay?
I agree.
Keep it up, Jason.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 415. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Raven. Hey, how are you?
Okay, Raven, where are you calling from, sir?
Oh, sorry, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
All right, Raven from Grand Rapids, what's on your mind?
So, first, I hear the brothers in the background talking, and I want to say this. When the cousins come to me talking their nonsense, I mention a number of things to them. It's NASA, open heart surgery, smartphones, and shuttlecrafts. And I ask them, did you help do any of that? If not, go sit down and shut up. Because we didn't have our culture and language intact. We had to fight everything we fought, and yet we still accomplished all of that. What did you accomplish on your home turf with your language and culture intact? So, that being said, I agree with the brothers. I think really, when it comes to reparations, and I'm not being hateful, but I think what the others need to learn is that, look, we need to shut up, be quiet, let Black America get this, stop talking against them getting it, because if they are able to get this, the rest of us will get ours.
We just need to hold the standard now that nobody's going to get anything from us for free, including support. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Going forward, you're not going to be able to have any support here. You're not going to have any support here. So definitely just understand going forward, it's going to be required of it there. Everybody else requiring something, they respect them. We sitting up here working on the honor system, and the honor system ain't working. So from here on in, by the way, I just thought you should think that over. Call from area code 571. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Shakir. I'm calling from Arlington, Virginia.
All right, Shakir from Arlington. What's on your mind?
If I got reparations, I know what I would do with it individually. There would be it would be a present value of a stream of cash, and it would go on into the future. Now, is there a way, I know personally I would establish a perpetuity, but is there a way we can establish a national perpetuity for black people? Because a perpetuity is the sum of a regular series of fixed payments that will go on into the future, and you can pass it on to posterity. Think of it as an annuity, but unlike an annuity, it will never end. You get a certain amount of money, and you can get what's called a perpetuity. Now, you speak to accountants, and you can ask your accountant about it, and I'm sure he knows about it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the issue. No. When you hear things like baby bonds, perpetuity, annuities, things like that, everybody wants to make up a perpetual value machine. Unfortunately, that really, when you go through the process of it, it wouldn't really work because, number one, inflation. Number two, for example, when folks think about the Middle East, you think about places like Kuwait and, Saudi Arabia and things like that, when folks don't have to work if they don't want to or whatever. Well, yeah, that's because they have a very high value, they have a low population, high value product that gets sold globally. So they're basically being subsidized because of oil. The rest of the world does the work. And since they've got such a high value asset, it's got such tremendous value, they're distributing its value among the population. So that's where you're going to run into difficulties with. At some point, you're going to have labor backing the value. At some point, you're going to have that. So without that, trying to find a perpetual money machine or a perpetual value machine, there's the real reason why any of them in any form are going to have, difficulty. You're not going to be able to get that to work. Simple as that. So if there's not value backing it, if there's not labor backing it, you won't be able to continue it. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get called from area code 954. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mr. Black. This is Derek calling from West Palm Beach.
Derek from West Palm Beach. What's on your mind?
Hey, I don't know if you guys know, but Luther Campbell is running for office down here. And I saw on his Instagram thing, he was talking about a Haitian agenda. He would go down there and try to talk to, I guess, the guy Barbecue down there or whatnot. And I kind of mentioned something, and they got all up in me about, hey, you don't have a culture, you don't have this and this and this. And I'm like, what is his black agenda? He didn't have a black agenda. He was talking about Haiti, Haiti, Haiti. I'm just like, dude, you Jamaican, what are you talking about Haiti? And it threw me off. And I'm like, you just need to stick to music, my friend, and, lead the politics to, somebody who knows.
Well, I mean, I would be interested in seeing that, although in Luther's case, I would pretty much believe anything, to be totally honest with you there. He's, all I can say, y'all, is, the leader of Two Live Crew, how much do you expect? Just, well, what do you expect from the leader of Two Live Crew? It's just all these decades later, it's just, I wouldn't be surprised.
I know, man. I know.
If the nigga came out tomorrow with a Charlie Brown T-shirt on, I'm like, I can't tell you. I'm just told, Luther Campbell, I can't believe that. No way. What about it be? Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Just to put it in its proper context here. By the way, I went by his Instagram, so he's getting crunked up for Cinco de Mayo. So he's getting crunked up for Cinco de Mayo. So just, yeah, brother, it would take a lot to surprise me. When you say the name Luther Campbell, yeah, that alone is going to take a lot to surprise me. Call America 206. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening. This is Agnes calling from Seattle, Washington.
All right, Agnes, what's on your mind?
Hi. The podcast this evening on fire. Nothing other than just straight facts telling on the agenda. I like the fact that you just put the stuff on the bricks. You got a Haitian problem. It's a Haitian agenda. Black folks, we're staying out of it. And it's true. The Haitians really do believe that they are French. They do not have anything or any connection to any of us on the soil, nor do they want to have anything to do with us on the soil. Okay? They look down through their noses at us, and they still think that we are slaves and that we can't be any better.
Well, you know, more than that, not only do they want to be French, that's only one part of it. They aspire to be French. Now, that's a whole separate issue right there. And there's one thing if you say, "Bah, I want to be French." There's another thing to say, "I aspire to that." And what I'm saying is, if they have a choice between being black and aspiring to be French, wow, that we're going to lose that one every time.
It's laughable because I've lived in France for a few years, and I've also I do go to travel to Quebec back and forth quite often. And it's interesting why these people tell these stories, why they want to adopt French culture and mannerisms when the French think of them as barbaric people with absolutely tribalist tendencies. And the French treat anybody, you say you're from Haiti, you are worse than dog poop, okay? And people who are Haitians living in France, they will not say that they are Haitian. They will say they're from either Quebec or Canada, or they're from the Caribbean. And they're very careful about saying which part of the Caribbean because they've got to deal with people from Guadeloupe and Martinique who actually spit on Haitians. It's that bad. Interestingly enough, when they're in Quebec, the Quebecers don't even entertain their heirs, okay? The Quebecers are worse than us, okay? They tell the Haitians, you won't amount to anything. You'll never be anything. A lot of it happens to be racial, but with the Quebecers who do understand the whole French hierarchy and the Haitian mentality, you know what? That's why they came here to the United States with that pretentious stuff. And you know what? Keep roasting them because we're minding our own FBA business. And you know what? Haitians are on their own. Thank you, and be one.
B1, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get call from area code 240. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, what is your name? Where you calling from?
This is Hammer, and I'm calling from the East Coast of the United States.
Okay, all these people calling from their damn UFO space phones. What is your name again?
Hammer, calling from the East Coast of the United States. That is my
Hammer calling from Hammer calling from where at?
East Coast of the United States.
All right.
East Coast.
All right, Hammer is calling us from the outer reaches of your imagination, so let him get back to finding his way back home like Star Trek Voyager. Caller from area code 404, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Brother Aquarius calling from Atlanta. How you doing,
Aquarius from Atlanta, what's on your mind?
I just have one question specifically. When you say reparations across the board, would you say that our celebrity class owes us reparations? Because whenever it's time for elections to come around, instead of stomping for reparations, all they talk about is endorsements and who they want to vote for or who they want us to vote for. But they don't actually push or back anything that has to do with our agenda. Well, so when you say reparations across the board, would you?
The bottom line is that we have to understand you're going to have cowards and coons no matter what you do. So, no, they're not really. I mean, they haven't. There's certainly an irritant. There's certainly a problem, but there's no reparations claim to them. There really isn't anything to them. If they're walking around talking against their own best interests, that's an offense. It's a different one. That's an offense, but it's a different offense. We got a different mechanism for dealing with coons and cowards. There's a different mechanism for dealing with that, which is what we've done, which is by instituting, by the way, they coons and cowards and putting the pressure on people and whatnot. And then you start seeing things change. So with the celebrity class, that's more the mechanism for them. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 904. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Sean, Jacksonville, Florida.
All right, Sean in Jacksonville. What's on your mind?
Yeah, real brief. You know, people are always talking about the logistics that we'll have to deal with if we get reparations here in the United States. I'm just curious, what kind of logistics would they have to deal with there in Haiti? Say that France decided to give them their reparations. I mean, I know they have a big mulatto class, and you know, how would they sort all that out, and what would it look like?
I mean, that's a very, very good question, because this is why I say, by the way, if we don't back it, nothing's going to happen. Where is there? First of all, they don't even have an organized government. Literally right now, there's a fella named Barbecue with an AK-47 and 50 niggas from the discotheque who got the nation on its knees. So you think that France, an imperial world power for the last 500 years, you think they're scared of Barbecue? And by the way, I'm not going to diss Barbecue too much and whatnot. He's trying to do something. But like I say, I mean, that's a situation. That's a situation right there. And with that being the case, you know, that's what they bought in for. You don't have an organized government. You've refused to get an organized culture. It isn't going to happen. It's not going to happen. So where's logistically the infrastructure? There is none. They don't have an economy of any significance, and they don't have any international ties of any significance. All they have is the good fortune of being in the Western Hemisphere of the United States. That's all they have. That's all they have. Outside of that, there's nothing. So I submit to you, there isn't anything. There's nothing there. It's not in place. It's not on its way. What they're really doing is trying to do their best imitation of being some people with some power. Going to the United Nations and begging is not a strategy, because Haiti has no clout in the United Nations. The United Nations is an organization whereby which the real superpowers of the world hammer out their issues. Haiti is not a power broker on the world stage. Haiti is a power beggar on the world stage, not a power broker. And they spent their time, the only folks who could help them, us, they spent their time either trying to undermine us or gaining bad will. And so now they're in a position where they want to imitate us on this issue of reparations, but they can't actually do it. So they can imitate our slogans. You can call these Indian organizations. You can say all that stuff. But the real question, brother, is what you're not asking there, but let me reword that. Where's their leverage? Forget infrastructure. Where's your leverage? What are you going to do to France if France don't play ball? What are you going to do to them? Where's your mechanism whereby which to express your disdain with what's going on and discontent? Where is it? What can you do to them? Now, this ain't about morality. If France doesn't subscribe to your morality, how are you going to press them to change what they're doing and to go along with something? Because that's what we've been talking about over here. That's what we're doing. We're exercising our leverage. The real question is, where's the Haitians' leverage? That's the question. And without that, there is no conversation. You just have a pipe dream about what France owes you. Yeah, a pipe dream and absolutely no leverage to make it happen. We had a mechanism to prevent the United States government from ignoring us. We had sufficient enough numbers here on American soil, and whether it was lighting up Watts or marching in Selma, we could do things that the government here could not ignore. Tell me one thing that Haiti can do that the French government can't ignore. Name one. Anybody. Tell me one thing that Haiti could do that France couldn't ignore. Out of hand. Wholesale. Truth of the matter is, France only has a ethnic, a cultural, historical connection to Haiti. Once the issue of superpowers and hemispheres got settled, France doesn't have any holdings in Haiti. They don't have anything. Nothing at all. They would be just as happy if Haiti disappeared tomorrow. What did they lose? What does France lose if Haiti disappears tomorrow? Now, I can tell you what America loses if we disappear tomorrow. Nobody can. What does Haiti lose? Meh. So no, sir, there is no logistical infrastructure in place. There's no diplomatic infrastructure in place. There's no governmental infrastructure in place. There's no economic infrastructure in place. There isn't even leverage.
And what about that mulatto situation? Is that really a bad situation? I mean, could the people even come together to work as a unit to get things done?
Well, historically, the mulatto thing has been a problem only historically. It isn't even a factor today. They're all in the same boat today. They all niggas now. They may pretend to each other that it's different, but you can't show me a light-skinned person from Haiti who's holding nothing that anybody else isn't. You can't show me anything. As soon as they say Haiti, they said it all. You're not going to be able to wish your way out of this one. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller area code 202. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Frank from Washington, D.C. This whole thing about the Haiti situation is almost similar in some aspects to the Palestinian situation. My thing is, why don't all of these well-to-do, wealthy Haitians that made it in this country come together and go back to Haiti and figure out a situation there, calm down the situation and set up a new government there.
But brother, the question provides the answer, though. The answer is in the question you just asked. A person doesn't flee because they care about where they came from. They're fleeing specifically because they don't give a damn about where they came from. They trying to be anywhere but there. The issue is not that they geographically separated themselves from Haiti. What we understand and what they keep lying about, but their actions prove what they really believe, they have emotionally, culturally, ethnically, economically, and every otherly divorced themselves from Haiti. That's the problem. You understand something that I understand and everybody else does. Right now, Haiti is in dire straits. Right now, Haiti needs patriots. Haiti needs true believers. Haiti needs people who love Haiti when it's experiencing its darkest hour. And what you found out is that Haiti doesn't have a population that loves Haiti. They have a population that loves themselves. When they say Haitian, there isn't anything to have pride in. So that's why cutting and running is so easy. They don't care that the ship is going down just so long as they ain't on it when it does. And so when you say, why is it they don't go back? It's because it's the Haitian culture today, and truth be told, we're talking about Caribbean culture, but we're going to talk about Haiti for a minute. Haitian culture today is every man for himself. And that's the truth. The truth of the matter is Haiti is in the situation it's in today because their culture today is every man for himself.
Right. And then, and as far as the reparation situation, for those of us, African Americans, who are born and raised here, the thing is that, if according to the current system, there's no return on investment for them. There's no money in it for them. That's why they're willing to have bipartisan packages sending money to Ukraine and Israel because they're making money off of that. All these defense contractors and whatnot, they're making money off of it. There is no money in reparations. They've gotten all of our hard work and the hard work of our ancestors to build this very system. They've gotten all the work. They got all the labor out of us. So they're looking at it as, well, we already got what we needed out of them, and we can still string them along, and get some more labor out of them, so we really don't need them as much.
Well,
we can count on, people from
there's a darker side to it is the issue, though. There's a darker side to this, which is something that I don't think that we here in America have considered. Brothers and sisters from around the world, and I don't think anybody's ever mentioned this before, but have you all considered that Haitians see us as Americans? That's the reason why the black conversation doesn't penetrate, and why it is so easy for them to adopt their backstabbing culture practices with us, because as far as they're concerned, not only are we not Haitians, we're also not black, we're Americans. So we simply constitute another group of people for them to get over on.
Right.
Has anybody considered that before I mention it tonight? That they just see us as another group to get over on. Oh yeah, that kind of tracks against what we've been saying about in Africa also. When they look at us, they don't see us as African descent, nor black, except in the abstract. They see you as Americans, which means another group to get over on.
Right. I never thought of it like that. It's been nice talking to you, man.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Like I say, when we stand among white people, we think of ourselves as different. And I understand that. But have you thought that Haitians simply see us as dark-skinned Americans? Dark-skinned, for lack of a better phrase. Well, you're the dark-skinned version of the white folk there. Which translated when in the context they mean it, you're another group for us to get over on. So we don't have to deal with you honorably. We don't have to uphold anything with you. You are just another group to get another group in that place called North America for us to get over on. You're just another one. That's all. You're just another one. When you think about it there for a moment, it's a cold game. When you think about it, though, I think you'll find it makes a little bit of sense there, that's the attitude that all these immigrant classes bring is they look at us and, well, you're just the dark-skinned version of those white folk because your lineage goes all the way back to the beginning. So you're the dark skin. The white folk been there for hundreds of years. You've been there for hundreds of years. So you're just the dark-skinned version of them. You're the dark-skinned Americans. We try to get over on the white folk and try to get them to drop off as many benefits as possible. And you're just another group in America for us to get over on. If we can manage it. You're just another one. So yeah, we'll sign on for black when convenient and black power when it's to our convenience. But when we walk out the room, yeah, them dumb niggas up in there, every man for himself. Every man for himself. The reason why you could not have a situation among us as you see in Haiti today with a complete and total breakdown is because we do not see it as every man for himself. We have spent centuries building a common culture that unites us. We have never had the idea of every man for himself. That's why that would never happen here among us. Caller from area code 651, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Jason Black. This is Bill Mahari calling out of Minneapolis, Minnesota.
All right, Bill out of Minneapolis. What's on your mind?
You know, you make a really good point when you think about the fact about how these Haitians really don't identify with FBA because they look at it as this. They look at it as if you're basically a group that we don't identify because we're not like you guys. And the fact of the matter is that the fact of the matter is, when I look at the whole situation, you know, there's so much that the Black Americans have done historically that pretty much has screwed over the tools of white supremacy for so many years. And unfortunately, the way I look at it is, you know, Haitian people don't identify with that because they've been used to getting butt broken. They've been used to getting beaten up so much to the point where they just pretty much accept their fates of it, and then they don't even know how to combat with it. When you look at the whole situation, what's going on in Haiti right now, it's very simple. The people have just accepted the fact that their country has fallen apart, and no one's going to do anything about it. That's completely the opposite of what we see here in the United States. And unfortunately, from my vantage point, they just don't want to relate to that, and they rather accept the French coming over and pretty much taking over the country, retaking their sources, and then pretty much, you know, putting the screws to their government, and then pretty much becoming a lapdog for the French Revolution. That's how they look at it.
Well, certainly they are looking to placate them and to still glum onto that identity. And you know that because we offered them something far better than being French. We offered them something of being black, which would tie them to us. And they flatly refused that. It's like, we ain't trying to do all that. We're trying to do something different. That's why when the Clintons go down there, they start dancing and buck dancing and singing. They've made no overture. They've had half a century to make overtures to us and didn't move a muscle. That's the issue there. Jamaica, Dominican Republic, you name it. Everybody's got the same damn pathology. The white folks show up and they start taking off their shoes and dancing. We show up and they start building walls and obstacles. So they've definitely expressed their hostility where we're concerned. And they're chasing something that can never happen, which is French affinity. And in reality, here's the problem. That will never work. You are not the bastard stepchildren of France. You are their slaves. And it's insanity to keep trying to redefine yourself as their bastard stepchildren. It's not going to work. Spain culturally operated a little bit different, but in Spain's case, this is like dad's raping the daughter and then marries the daughter. That's not an improvement. So in France's case, I mean, the sick game they're playing with themselves is, oh, well, we're dark-skinned Frenchmen and we got this affinity of this, that, and the other. It's like, no, you're not their bastard step. Well, they kind of treat us some bad, but we still subjects of France, the children. You're not the children of anything. You're their slaves. And if you ever get to a point where you accept that reality, then you will get back to where you used to be under Toussaint Louverture and Jacques Dessalines. Now, you remember there were no walls between us and Dessalines. There were no walls between us and Louverture. There were no walls between us then. But that was because their backs were against the wall and France wasn't sitting on the other side of the world or sitting in the harbor. France was on their damn necks, literally. When that happened, all of a sudden, they were black. All of a sudden, there was no resistance when there was only one group of folks they was reaching out to, and that was it, us. There was no resistance at that point to identifying themselves firmly and strictly with us. That was then. Soon as France pulled out, all right, we French folk. Did you notice that? Soon as France pulled out, all of a sudden we French, and literally within a generation, they were not identifying anything with us anymore. No outreach to us anymore at all. Nothing. It all disappeared. Didn't take 100 years. It did not take 100 years. Not at all. So just recognize there's been a pathology that's been at work here. You got folks trying to play both sides against the middle. We are the only people who made progress because we ain't playing both sides against nothing. We playing our side. And everybody sees that we prospered, but they're all trying to bring their damn dysfunction over here where they can identify as black and something else. Instead of saying, look, it's black 10 toes down, this what it's going to be. And then, because remember, I mean, I keep telling y'all this, and I know it sounds like a joke, but I said it last week, but it's not. I'm not joking. I'm dead serious when I say this. It just sounds like a joke to some people, but I'm not kidding. The reason why we here in America, as black men of our lineage, cannot make no inroads with the average African is because we ain't got no white women to offer him. He's like, hey, what did the department getting with you niggas over there? First thing he wants to know, where the white women? And you know it's true because take a look how they act when they get off the boat in Britain. First thing they're looking for is a white woman. They come over here. First thing they're looking for is a white dance club. Where is Paris Hilton? Get out my way, Doc Butts. Where is Paris Hilton? That's the first thing it turns to. So you see, they don't want empowerment. At least that's not their definition. We don't have any white women to offer them. So he's like, well, you got nothing. What do you have? And, well, dude, I got empowerment. We have a culture of resistance. We got yes. But where are the white women? All I see is other niggas around here. And he's like, yep. You ain't got nothing to offer me. You have nothing to offer me. Because he doesn't see. We got to understand that these folks don't see being among us as the status symbol. They see us as a stepping stone. What? They see us as a stepping stone, that we made a lane for them to get over here. They're only going to hang around us until they get their feet under them. And then the next step is to leapfrog over into white society and take whatever cast off trailer bunny they can get their hands on. But we have to understand they see us as a stepping stone. They don't see us as a final destination. We're not a status symbol. They just see us as something to use to get where they're really trying to go to. And then when or if it blows up in their faces, then they scramble back over to us. Ooh, they treat us bad over there. They treat us horrible. Yeah. We get together. What do we do? Black first, brother. Black first, brother. And then it turns into that. The only thing is, I just don't want us falling for the game anymore. That's all. Just don't want us falling for the game anymore. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, definitely. So the bottom line is they just like to play this back and forth game, and I think it's very important that we don't fall for that. As soon as they make the move to try to deflect away from the issues that are really going on here in this country, just ignore them completely. And just the fact of the matter is, if they can't embrace the fact of who they are, that's their problem. That's not our problem. And I'm gonna land my plane on there. Have a good night. B1.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 612. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Jason? This is Akeem from Long Beach, calling from Guatemala right now.
All right, Akeem from Long Beach. What's on your mind?
I spoke with you on a business broadcast about sustainable building and stuff like that. I'm actually in Guatemala doing some stuff like that, but I was in Haiti doing a build, and we built a school, and a lot of the Haitians, they're trying to melt Americans for money. And for me, it's like, don't even come over here with that, because that's not what I'm here for. But you hit it on the nail, and it made sense to me, because every now and then, once I leave the country, I get off WhatsApp, because if I don't, they'll just keep hitting me up for money or whatever. But you hit it on the nail. They don't see us as Americans. They don't see us as black, like we're on the same team. They see us as Americans. So they just look at me.
You know what? You actually raise a very good point there. I mean, quiet is kept if we gonna keep it all the way real. Like they always in somebody's pockets. I mean, just it is what it is. I mean, if somebody got an extra dime, whether it's their relatives or friends or something, what you say is absolutely true. They hitting you up 2:00 in the afternoon, 2:00 in the morning. If somebody's over here, man, they ringing your pockets. They buzzing them pockets 24/7.
And the white people, you know what I mean? They're generous, but some of them, you know what I mean? They think it's funny or whatever the case may be. But you hit it on the nail, man. Again. Like 5 years ago, I was helping a buddy in Africa, had an orphanage, and I'm really out there, you know what I mean, doing the most. I'm flying with bags, helping for schools and shit, and there's an embargo. They not letting us take bags, but you hit it on the nail where it's like I had to stop working with them and helping them out. I found out about you in probably like 2012, but it really blew my mind. I had to stop working with them because I came to understanding, like, shit, ain't nobody helping me. Like, nobody's helping me. And what made it even worse, you hit it on the nail. The dude who worked at the orphanage, he married a white lady through the internet, a fat white lady. You know what I mean? Not trying to. He's trying to get his green.
He's trying to get his green card, boo. He's trying to get his green card, boo. That's what he's trying to do.
And I can respect him if he's like being transparent about that, like, hey, I'm trying to work the system, like, hey, I'm like, but that's his mentality. Like, you got it right. Like, that he sees me as an American. I really had to ghost him. Like, fuck, like, we not on code. And this is before, you know what I mean? This is like 2015. So like me just having as a young person having like an understanding, like, damn, he's not even on code, and him not being on code puts me in a dangerous situation financially, but also maybe physically.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, he'll sit up here and let you get lynched to get next to a honey boo-boo. And I mean, that's messed up right there. It's like, hey, dude, you couldn't at least found something halfway decent looking? Like, he's waiting to, he's not even waiting to sell you all out for a gourmet meal. He's just like, hey, if somebody throws a 5-day-old sandwich over here, I'll hang this nigga. So that's a hell of a thing. And at least our price would be significantly higher.
You're not lying, though. One of the good things about some of the work that I do, we are taking trash and building homes. It's very complex. It's an organization called EcoHab. Not trying to plug, but a lot of the Haitians, we created an initiative, a housing initiative. We really went out there. Like, this is like, man, we really went out there, right? Started collecting trash. They're looking at, and I'm like one of the only black persons there. I'm doing it for media and helping out my organization, but I'm the only black person there. And all the Haitians is looking at the white people like, look at these white people out here picking up trash. There's so much trash, they'll never be able to pick it up. They'll never be able to pick all of it up. And trash washes up on shore every day. But in the second week, we took that trash and started insulating a structure. And within week 3, because it took us a month to build this classroom, in week 3, we're going back to the site to pick up the trash, and they're like, you got to buy it.
Yeah. I mean, just as soon as they can, let's start backstabbing as soon as we can.
Yeah, but the good, like, I'm gonna try to stick to the positive. But the good thing is we're working with the Haitians who want to stay and better. We was in La Gunave, but a lot of the younger people, they understand that, like, hey, they might not understand how complex America is, but they want to, like, they have pride in where they're from. And so the people, they're building their own structures. We're able to teach them how to build structures, and right now they're building structures. But the ones who don't want to do that and empower their own country, it's really like, man, I'm out here in Guatemala and helping. And the people here in Guatemala, they want to, their culture, their values are very strong, and they're sticking to that. People leave, but the people who stay, they're really sound with building their country up. And
I mean, but that's the way it always is. I don't have any respect for the ones, when I see them up over here, I'm like, okay, how'd you get here? Oh, I had to leave. Okay, right. Okay, well, I'd be a fool to think you're going to be solid for us, the place where you were born at. You got up and ran. It's like, I'd be a fool to think you're going to stand by me. You just met me.
I'm going to ask you a real question right now, because, like, I've been conflicted and just trying to figure out. So, like, my mom, you know what I mean? I love her, all that. She passed away, but, you know what I mean? She didn't have all the answers. And I have two brothers, and I'm the youngest who have FBA dads. And for me, I don't know my dad. And I pressed my mom to the day she passed away. You know what I mean? I took care of her my whole life and all that, but I pressed like, damn, like, you ain't no better than the slave master. If you can't, like, help me out with information. I feel like maybe towards the end, like, me pressing her, she genuinely did not know. But, like, I got more of an FBA spirit than my brothers. My mom, she's Belizean. So my brothers are, you know, half FBA, half Belizean. But, like, all the work, like, I could have opted out a long time ago on a lot of other shit. You know what I mean? I played college sports, a bunch of different shit. But when you get into the system, you really realize, like, it's everywhere. It's not just in one industry. So you can't run away from it. It's either you merge with it or you just fight. And I'm just like, fuck it, I'm going to fight forever. Even if, you know what I mean, I never get there, I'm going to still just continue pushing the needle forward. So,
well, remember,
figure out, like,
when it comes to our culture, resistance is not something you do, it's what you are.
Right.
It's not something that you see, it is something you become. That's the difference. And I don't mean resistance as in aggression. I'm just saying resistance as in when something's trying to corrupt you, break you down or whatever. It is in your spirit. It's in your DNA not to fold.
Right.
The betrayal of your genes would be folding under pressure because we're the ones who created a culture of resistance. That's why people marvel at what we do. But that's what makes us special. That's what makes us different. That's what holds people in awe of us. They come back and look and say, damn, he's still standing?
Right.
He's not just standing, he's flying.
Right. I was really trying to figure out, like, you know, being a young person, doing something that's going against the grain, you're trying to work outside of the system that doesn't even recognize you as human. How would you go about when it comes to even, like, financial relationships, emotional relationships, romantic relationships, friendships? Because for me, I only got, like, 3 people I actually interact with on a daily basis. And I just, if
that's
you can't
enough.
Provide.
That's enough right there.
Exchange.
As a person here, as you get older, your job is not to be friends with the whole damn world. That's a nice childhood idealism you were fed, but that's not your goal in life. You're not here to be a politician. You want to be friendly and agreeable with as many people as you can, but as far as folk you allow in your inner circle, that's a different matter. That's a different matter. So be polite to everybody, but you don't have to open the doors beyond that. You don't. Mm-hmm. You don't. As a matter of fact, power is gained by how many people you say, or the people in situations you say no to, not what you say yes to. It doesn't take courage to say yes. It takes courage to say no. It takes courage to tell somebody who's trying to do something to you or do something at you. It takes courage to say, no, I resist that. No. That takes courage. So if you're talking about personality and character and identity, first and foremost, you look and you define for yourself what you will not do, what you will not accept, what you will not have, what you will not adopt, what you will not tolerate. That's going to determine an empowered life for you. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get called from area code 513. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is DJ Wynn from Dayton, Ohio.
Okay, DJ Wynn from Dayton. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man, what's on my mind, man? I'm glad that you're talking about this topic on your podcast because I had talked to a couple foreigners that I work with, and they kind of like I almost got into it with one of them, man, because he got pretty upset with me because I was talking about reparations, and one of them I got into it with a little scuffle between going back and forth. He had told me to my face. He said, "Yeah, Black Americans are lazy." So I asked him, I try to do it, like you do it, like give the talking points. So I asked him, I said, "What country you come from?" He said, "Tulu." I said, "I never heard of that before. But if we so lazy, why did you flee to your country to make a better life? Like you said, to be an engineer in America, you could have did that in University in Africa." He couldn't explain that. So he started smiling. So I told him, I said, "Look, if you start smiling, I said, I don't think it's a damn joke." And I said, if we weren't on this job, we was kind of like in a area where no cameras was. But I told him, I said, if we went on this job, I'll whoop your ass right now for saying that. Because obviously you don't know your history. And if it wasn't for us, if I'm not mistaken, what you had taught me in 1965, you said the rite of passage for Africans to come over to this country. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but you can correct me. But when he said that, I kind of got upset. And then that smile went off his face. I said, because if it weren't for us fighting for y'all to come over here, you wouldn't have the opportunity to be an engineer to quit the job like you're going to. I said, I'm not hating on you. You get your money. I ain't jealous of that. But I said, but don't try to rub it in my face. I said, because I'm going to check you real quick, fast, in a hurry.
Well, like I say, I mean, if y'all, that basically breaks it down right there. Dude, if you're trying to run this coping mechanism scam about hard work, and if you were hard working, why the hell weren't you hard working where you were? If that's the case, this is just a logic problem right here. If you're hard working, you would have been hard working where you were. If where you were had value, you'd still be there. You came to a place that has value. You know why? Because the lazy folk are where you come from. That's the lazy ones. The place that they grew up in, the situation it was in, that's the situation it's in now. They're going from the cradle to the grave with no changes. That's the lazy folk.
Gotcha.
That's the unmotivated folk. We improved where we are. Century over century, decade over decade. The lazy folks are sitting over there trying to get a degree so he can get up out of there. Well, yeah, because you're surrounded by folks like yourself. I mean, it doesn't take courage or effort to get up and run. It doesn't take that. Staying where you are and saying that this is ours, this belongs to us, and we're not letting it go. Well, that takes work. That takes effort. And if he had something to show for it, he'd have that. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a call from area code 832. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Jason. This is Nick from Chicago by way of Houston.
Nick from Chicago. What's on your mind?
Yeah, getting back to what you were talking about, came in a little bit late, but not sure if you had covered it. So as far as Haiti and all the other countries now pushing for reparations very, very hard, yeah, they definitely took their cues from us. I see that conversation, and as you said, I do a lot of business in West Africa and all over the place, other places, and most of these people, either they're scamming, they're joking, or they're ready to fight another black person. That is what I've run into, and it's unfortunate. They're scamming, they're joking, or they're ready to fight another black person. But when it comes to anybody else, including that they got a whole ass city where it's Chinese only in Nigeria, Chinese only speaking in that town. If a Chinese person gets arrested, they go to a Chinese prison where they get, 4 square meals a day. They get treated very differently and whatnot. So, I mean, they're letting it happen all over the place. But for the ones that are pushing for reparations, to get on that point, they are taking our cues. You would swear that if we didn't exist, those talking points wouldn't exist. But it's going to be very interesting to see. I want to hear your thoughts on this part about the Sahel region and a lot of those revolutions or coups that are happening. I see at least 1 or 2 nations over there that seem to be serious, particularly in Burkina Faso. They tried to overthrow this guy 20 times since he's taken over in the last year and a half. And he's actually slow rolling everything. Kicked out France, kicked out Germany, didn't even know they were there, and then kicked out the U.S. They tried to bribe him, I think, with $40 million or something, and he said no. So what are your thoughts on some of those nations in the...
Yeah, I mean, look, folk keep calling me about this every week and whatnot. I've answered it kind of before there, but I mean, particularly Burkina Faso, apparently that's gotten some folks' attention about that. That's cool and everything, but I say the same thing I always said. You know, this is the same story we've been watching now for 60, 70 years. They kick one guy out. They try to overthrow another one. I can't vouch for the righteousness of this individual. I can't do that. Hasn't been long enough. Just because he's sideways with some of the colonial powers, I can't sit up here and make assumptions based on that. What inroads has he made to us? What is he offering us? What has he asked of us? Those are the questions I have. In Burkina Faso and anywhere else for that matter. Zimbabwe, I said it. South Africa or anything else. Before I don't want to sit up here and say people have the right to have revolution. If they feel they're being wrong, their rights are being violated, they're being aggrieved, I have no issue with that. But if you're asking where is my support, now that's going to be a different answer. Because I meant what I said. I'm not supporting anybody else who has not made it clear that they support us. I support Julius Malema. That man has been talking about supporting us. I can rock with that. That I can rock with, and that's why they ain't gonna mess with him, because he's got our support. The rest of these folks, so far, what have they said? What have they done? What are they offering? You know, it's just no, because here's the issue. We get caught up because every time something goes down, we jump up and start putting our capes on. And what I'm saying is, have we learned anything? Have we learned anything at all? Or do we just keep mindlessly, blindly going around operating in good faith with people who have not extended good faith to us and just assuming, stop me if any of this sounds familiar, just assuming that if we support them, then they will see some black brotherhood and reciprocate. That's the problem we've been having. We're in this mess today because we petitioned the U.S. government to bring in a bunch of black immigrants, assuming that they would reciprocate, not thinking at all that they would come over here specifically to undermine us. That there's no way they would play the scorpion and the frog, and that was exactly what they did. So you all can rattle off every country and every regime, whoever is the newest and latest to get bumped off or try to get bumped off or whatever. But what I'm saying is, before I support anybody, I need to know what I'm supporting. Well, Jason, the United States, don't bring me that United States stuff. The same folk who be whining and pitching and moaning about what quote unquote America and the colonial powers are doing will be kissing they white asses next week soon as they take their boots off their necks. We've seen this dozens of times. How many times we have to see the same damn rerun before we pick up the message? Every time we turn around, that's what happens. They sit up here and they play this game. That's what I'm talking about. Have they demonstrated that they're on our side, or do they see us as yet another side to be played against? Ooh, if we can recruit them Negroes from America, that we can prop them up to go with these folks over here. And as soon as they got their boots off their neck, all right, bring on the white women. We see that everywhere. We sitting up here jumping up and down in all these places, and next thing you know, as soon as we pull out or as soon as we turn our heads just for a good minute, they shaking hands with the very folk that you and me were talking about. Hey, that's a problem. You and me talking about British colonialization. I did this program after Queen Elizabeth II died. I did that program. Take a look at all these places that are black folk are in that are still part of the British Commonwealth. Take a look at all of them. So we talking about the dangers of colonialism, and they are proud members of the British Commonwealth. So they use us. See, this is that pimp preacher thing. They use us to put pressure on these colonial powers to tweak things a little bit. We sitting up here talking revolution. They talking about revolution too. Yeah, revolution. Just tweak things a little bit. And then as soon as they got what they want, then they tell us, okay, revolution's over. We're like, wait a minute, but the colonial powers, yeah, we work things out with them, nigga. We work things out. So that's the game that we've been playing and allowing them to play. So no, I ain't slapping on no capes. I'm not jumping out no windows. I'm not flying faster than a speeding bullet. I'm not doing any of that until you have some folks that we treat them like American politicians now. If they want our support, I need to know what they're offering us. What is Burkina Faso offering us? What is Sierra Leone offering us? What is the former Congo offering us? What is the Congo offering us? What is Zimbabwe offering us? What is Ghana offering us? What's Rwanda offering us? And if we don't hear very clearly what it is, then what they're offering us is for them to handle their own business. That's what they're offering us. So all I can say is, if these men are on the side of righteousness, well, then may good fortune follow them. But I won't. Until they have something to offer me, then I wish you well, and that's about all I can give you. On account of the fact that we've played this game before, I'm not dealing with you on the honor system. So until you can offer me some tangibles, if what you're offering me is intangible brotherhood, then I offer you intangible support. Attaboy. Good luck with that.
Makes sense.
That's the best I can do. Thank you very much for giving us a call. That sounds serious, don't it? That sounds dire, don't it? Hey, that's the best I can do. That's the best I can do on account of the fact you're not offering us anything. You're not offering us nothing. You know why? Because they are more afraid of foundational lineage people showing up, because they know that we are the only difference makers. And they're terrified to death of that. They're scared of us showing up because we are the only people who actually make a difference. And they know that if we show up on their shores, they seen what we did in Watts. They seen what we did in New York. They seen what we done from sea to shining sea. And they know we gonna bring that energy. And they're like, hey, wait a minute. We want to back them colonialists off of us, but we ain't trying to see you come up. We ain't trying to have that. They're not stupid people. They're not stupid. They're not dumb. They're not ignorant. They know what they're doing. They want us to simply help move the needle a little bit to help them. They don't want revolutionary change. They would rather, because their goal is to pacify the colonists, not to remove them. I need you all to understand that their goal is not to remove the colonizers. Their goal is to simply loosen their grip some. Jason, how can you say that? Because you all don't understand. Africa is not trying to stop the colonizers from getting at their minerals. They're not trying to remove white supremacy. They're simply trying to improve their position within it. They still want to give the minerals. They still want to sell them. They still want you to have your iPhones and your iPads. They still want you to have that. They simply want to improve the deal that they're getting. That's what I need you to understand. These African nations talking about blood diamonds. They're not trying to stop the blood diamond trade. They're simply trying to improve the price they get on the Kimberley exchange. That's what I need you to understand. They're not trying to stop it. They're simply trying to improve the price that they get on the Kimberley exchange. I will say this, you ain't got to like it, but I will say this, you have had enough of us in all this damn time. Robert Mugabe could have contacted us if he wanted to. I said it. We can make all the videos about Zimbabwe we want to, but there's a reality that cannot be denied. Robert Zimbabwe could have gotten in touch with us if he wanted to. He could have done a Julius Malema if he wanted to. We just gonna have to accept the fact that it wasn't what he actually wanted. He was trying to improve his position within the structure. He wasn't trying to get the revolutionary type of change we talking about, not that. That's why you can't make any headway in Nigeria. That's why you can't make any headway in Ethiopia or Kenya. That's why you can't get it done. They have all had the same ability. They send plenty of their illegal aliens over here. Them folk could have contacted us and gotten together with us decades ago. They could do it years ago. They could do it tonight. They're not doing it. They don't want what we want. Just accept it. They don't want it. They want us to give them a little bit of a head up and some help with the colonizers, but they ain't trying to change it. That's what I need you to understand. We let these folks play these damn head fakes. We're more concerned about what's going on where they are than they are. And if that sounds like Malcolm X talking about the house Negro and the field Negro, might be time to do a head check. If they're really concerned about these places like that, why are they not reaching out to the most powerful black people in the world and saying, let's cut this deal? Tell me the last African government that reached out to us and said, let's cut a deal, and you don't get to say Muammar Gaddafi. None of them have reached out to us and said, let's make a deal. Nor is there a movement among the population to do so. We need to stop playing this game where we delude ourselves. We need to stop playing this game where we fool ourselves and fantasize with ourselves that everybody is deep off in the paint with it as us. They just ain't sent that email because they dealing with some things over there. I'll be damned. That's the whole reason they need to send that damn email. They need to be in touch with us. They ain't saying nothing to us. Not a word. Oh yeah. And I'm going to say it. Oh yeah, and you damn right. I'm going to throw it down there and I'm going to say that. I'm going to say this next part because you ain't going to like it. They worried to death that we going to grab up all the damn females Oh, I said it. They worried to death that that's going to happen. That's why they had to talk with their daughters. By the way, don't do that. Don't mess with them Akatas over there. They might eat you. And even though we over here putting all the girls on the school bus like some demented substitute teacher, driving them off into the sunset. But don't worry about them folks over there. That's what you worry about. But let's just lay it on the bricks. They sitting up here, trying to sit up here and protect everything from us. Because we're the only actual real legitimate threat that, by the way, if you look like their people, they're still trying to get preferential treatment in that regard. They trying to do that. No, if their daughters are over here, that's why they keep their daughters so damn close. They keep their daughters real close in the family. They don't want that heifer. Daddy wants to be the one who picks who she get married to, because if she has a chance to choose on her own, that's the last damn time you gonna see her. What? Once she get a sniff of the drip, and she get a little bit of taste of that swag, that's the end of that. That's a wrap. She's washing her hair. She's getting her nails done. She's bathing with that Caress soap, not the cake soap, the Caress soap. She ain't letting the damn pigs in the apartment no more. Damn. Yeah, ain't a bunch of goats walking through the apartment no more. That crazy ass goat bacon they leave hanging up outside, and she took that down. She's gone to Whole Foods and ain't looking like no damn bedwin. She going to Whole Foods and buying something like she got some sense. Dad don't know what to do. He looking around to see where the jollof is, and she like, oh no, we don't do that no more. We got red beans and rice. We good. What have you done to my daughter? What have you done? They ain't walking around like they waiting on Sally Struthers to come popping up. Folks got some shoes with the toes ain't out, some high heeled. They got some pumps where the toes ain't out. There's no more sandals, none of that. What have you done to my daughter? I do not recognize. They are corrupted. I disown you. You are the Akata now. Why? Because she buys her brooms at Home Depot? Because she smells like roses and not livestock? All right, Jason, did you have to do that? Jason, did you have to go there with that? Why you have to go there, Jason? If she does have an afro, it's actually kempt. It doesn't look like damn me tumbleweed. Yeah, you know that? You know that one? She's color coordinated. You know that one? She doesn't look like the error screen from a ColecoVision video game? What? Her wardrobe doesn't look like the original glitch screen from the NES? Nintendo Entertainment System. Go stay away from them. Why you do that? Why would you want that? I'm just saying. No. Oh, am I about to go there? Am I about to go there? I'm about to go there. I gotta do it though. I gotta ask. I've got to. Folks, when you go and check out, you go check out these group pages from these other folks, for the females, you notice, am I the only one who's ever noticed this? Do you ever hear them talking about perfumes? When was the last time you went to one of them groups and they had a group of these African females, they fresh off the boat, they in a circle, and they're talking about perfumes? Like, if I post on Facebook right now about, ladies, what's your favorite perfume? I'm looking for the chick from Kenya to tell me what hers is. After all these, I can't think of a single one that I've ever had a conversation with about her favorite perfume. Not a single one. And I'm trying to think. Like, if I take them to Bloomingdale's, are they going to be standing there in front of the perfume desk looking around like stranger in paradise, or do they think I just took them to the bar and it's like, okay, this is all the whiskey and vodka and stuff like this? Is that the situation? Well, this smells nice. I'm asking for a friend, okay? I'm just saying, by the way, everybody in here is like, oh, hell, we never thought about that. We never thought about that before. It's like, by the way, did y'all think for a moment, and have you all ever asked yourself, when was the last time you were talking to an African chick and y'all were talking about perfumes? I'm asking for a friend. Can somebody tell me? Somebody tell me. When are the Bond people gonna make their way to Kenya? When are the Tom Ford people gonna make their way to Ethiopia and Ghana? I'm just asking. Come on now. I have a bunch of y'all. Y'all work at Lenox Mall, nigga. Come on now, there's a bunch of you. You work at Lenox Mall, you work at Pentagon Mall, you work at Mall of America. Come on now, y'all work at these high-priced stores. You tell me, you've seen the Africans, females all over the place. How many of them came up to you at the perfume desk? Come on now, I'm talking about even in New York. Even in New York, how many of them came up to the perfume desk? All right, I'm wrong for asking? So I'm wrong for asking. There's a bunch of y'all worked at department stores. When was the last Kenyan female that you saw walk up to you there? Okay. Hey, tell me the last time that the female was spraying on some perfume in Nollywood movies. Show me the Nollywood movie with a female spritzing on some perfume. Show me. How many of you fellas here, you dated an African female or married an African female and you bought her some perfume for a birthday gift? Auntie, chill. Come on now. I'm wrong. Okay, all right, I'm wrong. Fine. I'll just sit over here and be stupid and wrong by my I'll just be over here making this up by my damn self. Since nobody wants to answer my questions. I'll just sit over here and just amuse myself, I suppose. All right. Caller Mary code 770. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Jason Black. This is John Barton from Flint, Michigan, by way of Marietta, Georgia. Check this out. I got a fragrance brand. I sell fragrances. My brand is Priceless Scents. None of those women like good smelling fragrances. They always pick the funkiest stuff on the shelf if they buy anything.
Well, they're probably looking for something cheap.
Yeah, they looking for the cheapest, stankingest perfume you can get. They like, if you want to sell something to like an African woman, pick whatever got oud in it. That's the only scent that they know. Something that's dark, deep, and stinking.
Well, I mean, I guess if they got some musk, or if you got some brute, I guess maybe they can.
Exactly.
They can slap a little bit of that on.
Man. But they try to sell everything, but they don't wear none of it.
Wow. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Well, she said that's for the rest of you. Okay. Well, baby, what do you put on? I don't even wear deodorant. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, they definitely don't wear deodorant. They smell like straight musk. Musty like a Mustang.
Yeah, I can understand it. There are chemicals in your deodorants. Okay, but baby, I don't think olive oil is enough to keep the smell out, though. It's just, that's my issue. It's just, I understand back in the village, y'all just put some olive oil and some, red rum on it, but this, you gotta do a little bit better than this now. Some olive oil and some red mud is not gonna get it going.
Driver, man. I'm an over-the-road truck driver also, and none of the fellas, man, out here, everywhere you go, you can smell where they was at. It smell like black pepper.
Black pepper, not red pepper? All right.
But, yeah, black pepper, man. I'll be tripping, man. But I appreciate everything you're doing, man. I've been listening to you for about 4 or 5 years, and you stay on point, man, so I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. I'm just saying, y'all, I mean, if I go up to the desk at Tom Ford, I want to know, that might explain a hell of a whole lot. It's just the African chicks ain't really, you talking about buying them some perfume, they ain't really moving. It's you standing over there trying to look fly by the Tom Ford thing, and the African chicks ain't giving no play. It's just, they ain't moving. They're not moving. I'm thinking I'm doing big things. I'm just saying, I think a lot of us had incorrect assumptions. It's just, you're like, hey, this will be a winner. I mean, if you can spritz them with some, she'll be sold, If you can actually spritz them with some, if you can make that happen, she'll be sold. Short of that, this ain't going nowhere. All right. Call Miracle 646. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Amber Mason. I'm a candidate for governor of Washington State. I'm in Washington.
Okay. Is that what you called up for, ma'am?
I've been listening. I find the topics very interesting. As far as reparations go, I don't feel asking is the proper way to go for our people specifically. In executive order, however, is something I can do if I'm elected, that is. And it's something I intend to do, and I'm not going to ask about it because I don't have to ask.
Okay. And
so
how old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay. And you think you're running for governor of the state of Washington?
No, I'm definitely running for governor of Washington State.
That's very nice. Currently. 29 years old. And how much money do you have in your campaign?
Not much, unfortunately, but I'm building.
Boy, what in the hell's the matter with you?
Okay, ma'am, let's try this. Let's try this one more time.
90 seconds.
How much do you have, ma'am?
In my campaign fund, as of right now, 0, but in my personal fund, a lot.
Okay, how much is a lot, ma'am? Since you got 0, $10 over 0 is a lot, so...
My budget for my campaign out of my personal pocket is like $30,000.
Okay. How much money did Governor Jay Inslee spend when he ran for governor?
Quite a bit. But
I think he spent quite a bit. How much more than $30,000 did Jay Inslee spend?
A lot, but it's not necessary.
So you think you're going to win? You think you're going to do what Jay Inslee did for $30,000
or less, and I will.
Okay. Well, get to work. You have a miracle to pull off.
I am getting to work. But thanks for having me.
Calling up my program and trying to spam a bogus gubernatorial campaign is not
10 seconds.
You're demonstrating your incompetence.
Oh,
is what
it's
you're
not
doing.
bogus. I assure you. You can look me up online. My name is
Okay, ma'am. People are not going to look you up online. Nobody's going to waste their time and do that. What you have demonstrated is you are desperate and incompetent to do so. By the way, what size do you wear?
That's not important.
Yes, it is, because if you're going to be the governor of the state of Washington, then we need to make sure that you are also competent and qualified to speak on physical fitness, especially as a black female. Let's try again. What size do you wear? Because you sound like a good size 18. Oops. I guess I hit the right number the first time.
My weight is not a.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, but if you're gonna get on stage and debate the governor, I just don't want the moderator to have to go.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's my concern right there. Is that for when you get on stage for the debate, are they going to hit a bell or are they going to have to hit a? I'm just questioning here. I don't want you to. I'm trying to give you some help. Is what I'm trying to do here. So, yeah, I got a feeling that's the way it's going to go. So, in any case, here, folks, this is your brain on drugs. All right. Size 18 got $30,000 that she finessed from the PPP loan program during COVID. She got $30,000 that she done tricked off from her student loans. She got a student loan refund overage. So she got $30,000 left over, and she been hitting some crazy weed up there and watch. I'm running for governor. I'm done asking these niggas for their child support. I'm running for governor. Her friend, shut your big broke ass up. First thing I'ma do, nigga, when I become governor, the first thing I'ma do is lock your ass up. That's what I'm doing. You ain't gonna do a damn thing. Watch me. You think I'm kidding? I'm serious. She been waddling her big ass from one Twitter space to another. She got on Facebook somewhere. She's seen mine. I'm gonna call him. Hi, my name is Big Bertha Bill, and I'm running for governor of Washington today. And I ain't asking for reparations. I ain't asking for child support. Give me your damn vote and let me lock these niggas up. I mean, that'll be her first order of business. Everybody who was at that domino game laughing at her when she said she was going to run for governor to get that child support. I'm back, nigga. I'm back with the state police. Round all these niggas up. Round them all up. Get them all. Okay. What are we charging them with? Pissing me off. All right. What's the punishment? Life in prison, damn it. So I can come by and laugh at their ass. I'm also going to make it the law. Nordstrom's has to start carrying size 20s. That's the first thing. The second thing I'm going to do is lock you niggas up. Second thing I'm going to do, Nordstrom's is required to carry size 20. They got the Jennifer Lopez dress, but ain't one in a size 20. It's going to be the law. You got to carry that. I'm also going to make it the law that the drive-thru at Krispy Kreme got to give 2-for-1s. And Chick-fil-A is going to be required to open up double locations. And that's my second act as governor. And got to have more. You don't get your big ass off my phone. Call America 347. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
John Man from New York.
All right, John Man from where at New York?
Lower Manhattan, New York.
All right, brother. What's on your mind?
Of course, I always appreciate your broadcast. Just to be fair, at one time after I used to work for the Board of Education, I became a vendor for a number of years, and I sold incense and oils and things of that nature. I tuned into the broadcast kind of late. So you was talking about African women not wearing perfume or never hearing about them wearing perfume or something like that. I can't really speak too much on African women per se because of the fact that in my extensive time in New York, I've always approached different African brothers to get them part of the Black Power movement in New York, to get more active in support of reparations and in support of problem solving in New York. One thing I've noticed is that African brothers aren't too enthusiastic about introducing brothers from the brothers that they consider American to their women.
No, they really don't. They really don't. They want to keep them sequestered off there, dude. They'll tell you it's cultural or whatever. Them hoes be in the club throwing it with everybody else. But you're absolutely right. They don't really go out of their way to introduce you to any of those females. No, they find females, from your lineage, but they don't try to cross over into theirs. You got that right.
And I tend to be, at times extroverted, especially when I was really out there as a vendor, selling incense and oils, and black soap, shea butter, the whole nine. At first, when I was able to get enough money up, I went to Senegal back in 2001, a few days after Dr. Khalid Muhammad was set up. That's a whole nother story. But the point is that I sold incense oils to many sisters from Jamaica, born here in America, few Trinidadians, so on and so forth, right? I have come in contact with some indigenous-born African sisters who weren't exactly connected or escorted by their men, and many of them would be polite, but at the same time, they did not go up. I would gather they figured that they already use oils, because I think that's what it is. Many of the oils have scents like frankincense and myrrh, John Paul Cordier for the men. Then they have cocoa mango. They have different scents of oils, and some of them actually mimic the designer brands of perfumes and colognes. So, especially back in the 90s, the 80s, and the early 2000s, you could manage between incense oil, shea butter, black soap, different things like that to generate, depending on your spot,
a certain amount of income. You know what I mean? But to tell you the truth, even African brothers would buy a lot of merchandise more from me than straight up the sisters from Africa. I noticed. Well, I just want to comment on that. I thank you for your time of being able to share this. I just want to say peace after reparations, and I support reparations for indigenous foundational Black Americans. Be one.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here today. Like I say, if y'all can find one of the men at a barbershop or one of the females at a perfume counter, take a picture. Go ahead and take a picture so we can have some documentation. We can go ahead and settle that issue. And let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, for the big back broad there from Washington, my man Ray the King, he touched on it before I could get to it. When she gets elected governor, she's gonna make it the law that Chick-fil-A got to be open on Sundays. They got to be open 24/7. Chick-fil-A got to be open 7 days a week. They have to open Chick-fil-A and they got to close Planet Fitness. What? And that's gonna be, she gonna pass an executive order. I hereby order Chick-fil-A got to be open 24/7 and 24/7 Fitness got to be closed. Y'all make me feel bad with them little skinny hoes you got in them ads. You make me feel bad with that. So you done fat shaming. I'm governor now, damn it. Yes, sir. Every 24-hour fitness gonna be closed, and I decree they shall be replaced with a turkey leg hut.
Auntie, chill.
Every 24-hour fitness is gonna close down, and we gonna convert them to a turkey leg hut. That's what we gonna do. We gonna do that. And Boeing has to make the seats double wide. Y'all been discriminating. You've been discriminating against us all this damn time. We are in Washington, so Boeing, you got to start making the seats double wide now. Stop discriminating. And the damn engineers at Boeing, when the planes ain't falling out the damn air, they're like, hey, wait a minute, ma'am. I don't know if we can do this because, the plane can't get off the ground. We trying to bring the nose up. It's like, the plane is popping a wheelie. It's just, the back of the plane is on the ground. They got 4 engines on it. And we trying to get the plane up in the air, baby. You causing a drag. We trying to get the plane up in the air and she is dragging it. Like, hey, you got the plane leaning to one damn side. Think about that. Is that she on the plane is like, ma'am, can you sit in the middle of the aisle? You can't sit on one side, ma'am. We gonna put your seat in the middle of the aisle. We're going to put your seat dead in the middle of the aisle, in the middle of the plane, so we can get the center of gravity. I got a feeling we ain't going to be able to take off. Well, ma'am, we tried the regular passenger planes. That wasn't going to work. But we've got an idea. Y'all can't discriminate. We got an idea, ma'am. We going to start a special airline for y'all. Now, you won't be on the Boeings. We're going to put you on a C-17 cargo plane. Damn. That's where you going to be at. Like Captain America 2, when he jumps out the back of the plane, it's like, we found a situation for your airline needs. We found that. Ain't this the big plane they strapped them tanks down in? Yes, ma'am. We found something that can get you up. Yes, ma'am. Your flight will be leaving from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I know you wanted to leave out of Seattle International. We couldn't quite swing that one, but yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have a connecting flight at Fort Hood, Texas. We can do that one for you. Yes, sir. Everybody else, they all the other fat chicks running around with the damn hover round. Her hover round looks like a Humvee. She come trucking down in that thing now, looking like a polar bear wrestling a donut on that steering wheel. Oh, she in it to win it. Hey, y'all, what do you think will be her re-election campaign slogan? Make America bake again? What do you think her campaign slogan will be? Hope and chitlins? I don't know. You tell me, what do you think the campaign slogan, the re-election campaign slogan will be? Just asking for a friend. All right. She should have known better than that. You call me up and just start blurting out things. I'm running for governor. Okay, baby, I'm running my mouth now. And that's it. I'm coming in. I'm going in. Somebody said, make America big again. Make America big again. I'll be damned. Yes, sir. Can you imagine that? Right now, all they offering on election day is, free water. Right now, on election day, the election vote, we want to be able to give people water at the election polls. Oh, she gonna go well beyond water. I will say that. If she gets elected, let me tell you, nigga, it's gonna be a buffet at the election place. It's gonna be a buffet at the election place if she gets elected. Oh, man. She gonna be ready. That is it. Somebody said, no cheeseburger left behind. No cheeseburger left behind. Okay. In the chat room there, Andrea J, I would love to have you go ahead and give us a call up here. So Andrea J has a lot to say here. I can't wait to speak to her. So let me go ahead and get Andrea J up here. Since she's got a lot to say in this regard here, Andrea needs to go ahead and give me a call up here. Andrea needs to go ahead and call in since she would like to help me out here. She is very triggered by what she's seen and heard here, boys. She's very triggered by that. So Andrea got 2 minutes to be on the phone for me. By the way, big shout out here to everybody here who's contributed to support tonight's program. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. Everybody here, new channel members, David Douglas, and everybody else here who's become new channel members tonight. We appreciate that. Definitely appreciate having you all here for this here. So we're going Andrea J got 2 minutes to go ahead and give us a call up here. She is bothered by what she's heard. She is bothered by it here. She is concerned for my spiritual well-being. So Andrea's going to go ahead and call up and give us some she's going to call up and give us a little bit of encouragement for our well-being. She'd like to go ahead and give us some encouragement for that. So let's make sure that she's got that. There's the telephone number for you there, Andrea. We're posting that in the chat room for you. By the way, you got 1 minute. She wants to offer me some help and some counseling and some consideration. So now she'll have an opportunity for that. She'll have an opportunity. I'm just saying here, it's just like they worried. They worried here. She's like, how am I run for office? How I'm going to run for office here? She's trying to figure out how that's going to happen. A lot of them are worried there. Why are you down about the child support? Us big gals gonna stick together. By the way, you're about to be gone, Andrea. You're not on the phone lines yet. She's had so much to say. She's not on the phone lines yet. Okay, FT Sims, you need to give me a call up here too, by the way. FT Sims, you need to go ahead and give us a call up here too. So FT Sims would like to stand up for all the fat chicks. He's like, look here, they made fun of my mama. Okay, brothers, I need y'all to get over that childhood trauma here. So yeah, you're going to need to go ahead and give us a call here. FT Sims needs to go ahead and give us a call. By the way, let me go ahead and see about getting Andrea out of here. She's had her 2 minutes. Andrea was politely asked to call up, so Andrea has declined our generous offer after claiming she's not scared. So let's go ahead and get Andrea's big ass up out of here. All right. Now you can go march your ass right up to the front counter there at Five Guys and then Popeyes next door. Now you can do that in peace. When most places, you get charged by the plate. In her case, she get charged by the pound. So we'll go ahead and let that be. FT Sims, you're up next. FT Sims has 2 minutes. Or FT Sims and Andrea will be FT Sims will be able to go take Andrea J shopping at Lane Bryant after the program. He'll be able to go take her shopping at Lane Bryant after the program. This FT Sims will be able to teach us all. He can take her to Lane Bryant. He can take her to the other place. I forget the name. Yes, sir. For all them big gals, go ahead and do that. When this nigga take him on a date, he picks him up in his pickup truck. He's sitting in the cab behind the steering wheel, but he cut out the other side so the big chicks can sit in the back. They can sit in the back and they can just put their feet through to the front seats. Like they in the El Camino. I guarantee you FT Sims is a skinny nigga. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I promise you, FT Sims is a little thin anorexic nigga. I promise it. He ain't gonna be no great big ass size 57 Negroes. He gonna be the little scrawniest thing. He stop all you fat Jamie. Go back over his dating history. I mean, to pick up his photo album, you gotta bring a forklift. Damn. Yes, sir. If he keeps pictures of all his ex-girlfriends, boy, look here, you gonna need a backhoe to pick up his photo album. Even the pictures are heavy. Yes, sir. He can't have regular pictures. Everything's a poster. Everything's a movie poster. All right. Y'all know them things at the carnival and the fair where you stick your head through to take the pictures. They got they got one of these cartoon pictures and you just stick your head through so it looks like you're a cartoon with your real head for a picture. Him and the old girl try that. He's trying to like Miss Lulu from the Dukes of Hazzard, trying to fit their big face through there. He's a little skinny nigga, his whole neck coming through like the vulture from Bugs Bunny, and he got a big old gal right there. It's like, oh, her face, she can barely fit her face in there. Stop the fat shaming. Nigga, what is your dog in the fight? What are you trying to tell us? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? He didn't say anything about anybody else. We talked about the big girl. You stop that fat shaming. We didn't do that. It's always a skinny nigga drawing disability speaking up for the big fat girls. You ever notice that? Nigga, please. I mean, it'll be a little skinny dude. He ain't got no money, but he ain't got like a disability check or something. I mean, they cape for him heavy. What do these fat chicks do for these scrawny dudes that gets them to just crash out for them in public? I mean, proudly. Just proudly crashing out. Somebody explain to me, what the hell do these big gals do for these little beanpole built niggas? These toothpick built niggas. What do they do for them? I don't get it. Is it a mama syndrome? Is it security? Does he feel like she's protector and provider? I don't understand. Like opposites attract. I'm like, okay. He's got reckless abandon. It's like, hey, brother, this could go bad. I mean, they cook all day. Now, fat women don't cook all day. They eat all day. They don't cook all day. Fit women cook all day. All of us, our grandmamas, if they did cook, they were fit women. You ain't seen no big fat girls. Like, you have your cooking groups online. That's a bunch of little fit women. The fat chicks are rumbling through the drive-thru. The fat chicks be rumbling through the drive-thru, man. They show up between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. They think nobody will see them. And they got little cars. Great big ass women, little ass cars, man. They when they get in their car, they look like they're wearing a bulletproof vest. Look like she could just get up and walk with it. I mean, she could stretch her arms out the sides of it like she's wearing a set of overalls. I don't understand. I'm just saying, y'all. I would say I don't know where FT Sims is, but I think I got a pretty good idea. He's stuck up under that chick's leg. That's where he's stuck at. Damn! Yeah, he done got caught up for real. I guess for the skinny dudes, though, I guess if you're a skinny guy and you chase fat women, I guess that makes you feel more secure because you ain't got to have no game. All this nigga got to do is have a coupon for Chili's, and he's the man. All he got to do is have a coupon for Chili's, and he's the man. That's it. I'm pulling hoes everywhere. And this nigga come down the street with 5 or 6 of them following him like the Stampede. Like the old Chuck Wagon commercials. How many of y'all remember the old Chuck Wagon commercials? Yeah, buddy. Some of y'all are younger. You're going to go to YouTube and go look up the Chuck Wagon commercials. It's like, yeah, it's like that. All right. The women love him because skinny niggas is cheap. He don't want nothing for himself. He'll spend all his money on you. This nigga don't really eat. You talking about going somewhere to eat. He ain't gonna eat nothing. Look at his size. This nigga gonna eat half a biscuit and be like, oh, I'm stuffed. And she's like, thank God. And grab everything. All right, they've had their opportunity to call in. They have declined our generous offer. I guess I'll just be fat shaming. I guess I'll just be. In any case, y'all, vote for Miss Extra Large up there in Washington. She says she's going to be on the ballot. I think she's going to be on the buffet, but she says she's going to be on the ballot. All right. Can you imagine what her campaign stop going to look like? If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that notification bell. Join us each and every time. Okay, come on now. Come on now. Jason, you're going to have the Africans mad at us. First of all, they already mad at us for no reason, but I ain't roasting everybody. Come on now. Come on. Maybe next week I'll let y'all send in your pictures. Jason, you are wrong. This is me with my Gucci perfume in Kenya. I'm like, okay, well, all right. We found one. Don't get mad now. Jason hates on us. Don't get mad. That's like me being from Louisiana talking about they be hating on us. They be talking about we be driving cars with big ass wheels. Jason, yeah? How big are the wheels on your Escalade? 24. Nigga, 24 inches. Yes. That's a kindergartner. What's your point? You hating on us from the South. Man. That'd be like me getting mad. Don't you have something smaller? Yeah, I got a truck with some 22s on it. That's my small one. That's my little one. Can't you tell? Like, this nigga's joking. Not really. You don't see me getting mad, do you? I go to New York and things. My African friends up there, I go to New York. They see me come rolling through with this big ass thing. Like, you know it ain't gonna make it up the street, right? You know this ain't Louisiana, right? You know this is barely gonna fit down the street, right? You gonna have to drive down the middle of the road, right? You know that, right? Why you fellas from the South got to have these big ass tanks you drive around in? Why do y'all got to do that? Not an economy car anywhere you from the poorest part of the country, not an economy car anywhere to be found. All these great big ass land yachts. What are y'all doing? Y'all don't see me getting mad? Like, Jason, if I put you in economy size cars, what would you do? Suffocate. That's what the hell I do, is suffocate. You don't see me getting upset. We're not sensitive about that. I'm just saying. Come on now. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that notification bell. Join us each and every time that we are here. If you have not been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, you want to go and check out our groundbreaking, best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, Race War, soon to be 8 a.m., all available on DVD and streaming. Go to blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. Peace and hair grease around the world. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program. Thank you to all of our African and Caribbean brothers and sisters who have agreed to be good sports tonight, whether you knew it or not. Thank you to all of you tuning in live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant. For the chick running up there in Washington, servant doesn't mean I work the drive-through window. Now, I'm not that kind of servant, but Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, eat this, drink this, sleep this, think this, breathe this, feel this, live this, love this, everything we are, Black.
And at that time, not eligible for capital punishment. At the trial judge being concerned with administrating justice and well learned as the attorney addressing him, he would not have passed the death sentence in my case. For in doing so, he was trampling on the word of the Jamaican Constitution. As I went from cover to cover of the Constitution, I realized that I had found a ray of light. As yet, it was not a magic formula, for all it meant was that the sentence was improper. The fact of the conviction was unquestioned by the development. I need to stop right here for a minute.